Is that outside, Mike?
That is not 6 mile an hour wind.
No.
Look at the flags.
I know. And what happened to Tulane last week against UAB?
UAB's better than they are. They're just not that good. From Ted Gormley Stadium, it's District 9 5A football as this evening the St. Augustine Purple Knights battle the Jesuit Blue Jays. And a pleasant good evening to you, Ken Trahan, joined by the coach, Lon Elzey. Jordan Liuza will be along as well. Chip and Matt Merritt taking care of business here tonight, and it is great to have you with us for this outstanding contest to open District 9 5A play between two storied institutions. And by the way, it has special significance tonight. It's the first annual Winston J. Burns Senior Football Classic here, which is honoring a great man and family. Mr. Burns has had dedicated service and lifelong commitment to the vision, ideals, and overall success of St. Augustine High School. And proceeds from tonight's game will continue to fund the Winston and Greta Burns Scholarship Fund created by the family several years ago. And it continues to support deserving young men in pursuit of a quality education. Well, the Burns family, wonderful people. I happen to be friends, Lon, with a whole bunch of them, from Monty Burns to Burton Burns to Jason Burns, Winston Burns, the whole family of people. All are just wonderful people if you have the chance to know them, as I have for the most part. And it's terrific to be part of something that honors a special man and family tonight.
Yeah, I know Coach Burton very, very well, just from all the years he spent recruiting high school football after he went with Coach Saban at Alabama and so forth. And wonderful man. I think he's a class act, special guy, and I'm sure the rest of his family is the same way. And, you know, Burns family, the Burns name is kind of synonymous with St. Aug, so athletics.
And we've got ourselves a good football game. Catholic League opener for both teams. St. Augustine coming in 3-0. The Purple Knights have defeated their rival McDonough 35, 27-6. Beat De La Salle impressively, 38-20, and then beat John F. Kennedy in a shootout, 43-36. Jesuit comes in at 2-1 on the season. They lost to Warren Easton, not a bad loss at all, against a great team, 27-14. Beat St. Paul's 34-24 and beat Central last week, 35-19. Starting with St. Augustine, this is a team that's been close the last couple of years. Lon, they lost to Scotlandville in the fourth quarter in the quarterfinals 2 years ago. Lost to Catholic in the fourth quarter last year when they carried a 3-0 lead into the fourth quarter. Lost 7-3, gave up 7 and lost, and Catholic went on to win the state championship. So this is a program that's been close.
Well, yeah, they're always going to have talent. I mean, they always have and they always will. And you know, new head coach is going to do a great job. I mean, coming from a Story program with Carr there a couple of years, took them to the Dome. Coach Jones is he's going to bring something back to them and help them probably get over that hump. So,
well, you mentioned Nathaniel Jones. He was the head coach at his alma mater at Endicott for 2 years, took them to the Dome once, and did a great job. And then, of course, went to St. Augustine as an assistant coach under Al Jones, and then ascended to the head coaching position for this season after Al Jones stepped up in administration. And Nathaniel Jones is an outstanding coach, detail-oriented, and truly one of the fine men you'll ever meet in the business. The same is true of Mark Sonji, who's been doing this for quite some time and doing it very, very well. Second stint as the head coach at Jesuit, 54-37 overall, was the head coach of the Blue Jays from 1992 through 1996, and then came back in 2014 when Jesuit won its first state championship in 54 years, taking the Division I title, and remains the head coach today. So when you look at these two coaches, again, detail-oriented, good coaches and good people.
Yeah, well, Mark Sonji, I mean, Mark is the reason I got into coaching. I mean, he was my mentor. You know, when I decided to get into this business, he was the guy who said, come work for me and I'm going to teach you how to be a good football coach. So he's always going to be close to me, always have a place in my heart, and I love the guy, and he does a great job. I mean, he's so intense. And like you said, detail-oriented. He's going to try to do everything exactly the right way. And he's a perfect fit for these guys here at Jesuit as well. So
when you look at the respective accomplishments of these programs, you understand why they are so significant. First of all, they're significant institutions in the city of New Orleans and statewide. But St. Augustine's won 15 district championships. Jesuit has won 16 in the history of the program. So they're closely matched. And we'll have more of those details coming up with Jordan Liuzza in a few minutes. The coin toss taking place right now. Good color contrast tonight. Jesuit in their whites, white jerseys, white pants, white helmets, the Blue Jay on it. And St. Augustine in their purple look tonight. Purple jerseys, purple pants, purple helmets, the SA on the helmet, which is, of course, emblazoned in our minds as well. There's a lot of images that are unmistakable when it comes to this league when you think about it over the years. That SA for St. Aug, the J at Jesuit, the HC, the R. You know, you think about these things constantly. Brother Martin, I can't say anything because they don't put anything on their helmet, but it's okay. You know who they are when you see the helmet.
You do.
So,
you do.
And Shaw, of course, they've changed theirs this year, having done their game last week. And then there's John Curtis in this league now with the familiar JC. So unmistakable images when you think about the pageantry of this league. Goes without saying.
Well, Catholic League football in New Orleans is a cultural event. I mean, and it's a part of our culture and who we are in New Orleanians. I mean, it's just, and all of those symbols are part of that, you know, just like other symbols that we have in this country, like the fleur-de-lis for the Saints and so forth. So, yeah, it's been going on forever, and it's something special to this city.
Well, it is, and we'll have the start of the game coming up here shortly as St. Augustine and Jesuit get set to do battle. In terms of players for St. Augustine, their senior quarterback transfer, Trevon Woodson, transferred from the state of Georgia, a really good player, and he's played very well. 33 of 53, 594 yards, 3 touchdowns and interception. He's rushed for 79 yards and a score. He makes them go.
Yeah, he wants to throw it. I met with some of the Jesuit coaches this week, and they said, you know, he'll run it when he has to, but he wants to throw the ball to those stud receivers they got out there.
And, of course, he's got a whole bunch of really good receivers, but the guy that really gets my attention is the freshman running back, Justin Doyle. 5'11", 205, just a freshman, and he's special. He's going to have a tremendous future. 39 carries, 265 yards, 4 touchdowns. And for Jesuit, Robert McMahon, moving from wide receiver to quarterback, has done a good job this year, and he'll be throwing the ball on the outside to Noah Varnado, and you'll see Varnado quite frequently being targeted for the Blue Jays. They'll mix up their running backs a bit.
Yeah.
Just about ready for kickoff. The third member of our broadcast team is Jordan Liuzza, who has some historical perspective on this rivalry. Jordan, good evening.
Good evening, Ken. And that's right, these two teams are certainly no strangers to one another. The all-time series is about as close as it gets. St. Aug is up 26 games to Jesuit's 25. St. Aug has won state 3 times, 75, 78, and 79 under Otis Washington, and Jesuit has won 8 times, most recently in 2014 under current coach Mark Sonji. In 1978, both of these teams met in the state championship. St. Aug won that 13-7, and as a fun fact, our very own Ken Trahan covered that game. It was his first year broadcasting for high school football, and I think he was a senior at Loyola.
Why'd you have to say that? I had them fooled. I think they thought I was like 25 or something like that. Max Schurig, thank you, Jerome. We'll kick it off. St. Aug expecting a pooch kick. They're going to be uptight. Look at this. nobody beyond the 25-yard line. Now they'll drop one player back a little bit further, and they just invite Shirt to kick it over their heads, and he does. And that'll end up at the 1. That is a returnable ball. Upfield to the 10 and tackled at about the 12. Are you surprised that St. Aug didn't have a player back there, Lon? They invited that.
Yeah, I mean, Jesuit will pooch kick on occasion, but again, a lot of time that's a call from the sideline.
Yeah.
The way they lined up, and he is capable of putting it in the end zone. I saw him play against St. Paul's, and he did that on a regular basis. That ball just died. Looked like a Tiger Woods sand wedge. It just checked up right at the half-yard line and never went in the end zone.
And the first quarter here is presented by Rock and Bowl. Rock and Bowl now with 2 locations, South Carrollton Avenue, New Orleans, Jefferson Street in downtown Lafayette. See a full schedule of entertainment at both locations by going to rockandbowl.com. Saturday night Rock and Bowl in New Orleans, Category 6 playing all the hits. Every Tuesday, the Greater New Orleans Sports Foundation quarterback club luncheons at noon. On first down, here's a give to Doyle. He's going to dive across the 15 and out to about the 16, maybe the 17-yard line. He's going to be their guy. Doyle picks up about 3. It's going to be second down and 7 yards to go for the Purple Knights.
Yeah, just a little inside zone play. Jesuits in a 3-man front. That's about normal for a spread team.
On 2nd and 7, inside run. Doyle was stopped cold. Nowhere to go as he tried to go left. And Jesuits' defensive front, the strength of its team, was equal to the task. Perry Gansey makes the tackle, and he's a special talent.
Yeah, he's their guy. I talked to Coach Sonji this week about him, and he said that he's their guy, and he said he's got a motor, too. He's all over the place.
It's no gain. It's 3rd and 7, maybe the first pass coming up here. 3 receivers to the right, a single to the left. Jesuit playing to twin safeties deep at about the 30 or so here. Doyle, the running back, next to Woodson in shotgun on 3rd down and 7. Woodson, the snap, wants to throw it outside. It's caught, but a big hit, blowing him up at about the 17-yard line for Jesuit. Was number 7, Ethan Kerrigan. The catch was made by Roderick Martin, and boy, did he ever take a pop.
Yeah, that's a big stop for Jesuit. Huge to get Aug to go 3 and out. Jesuit's going to play a lot of different looks against them tonight, according to their defensive coaches, and just try to keep St. Aug off balance on offense.
So Martin, the catch for 2, he paid a price, and St. Aug will have to punt a 3 and out right off the bat. And the Purple Knights usually have Jerron Marks back to punt it.
They should get real good field position out of this as well.
It might be Coatney back there. We'll see. It is Coatney to punt it for St. Aug. And now a flag comes down. It might be delay of game here when it comes from that deep, and it is a delay of game on St. Augustine. The first penalty for 5 yards will push them back another 5 and give Jesuit an even better chance for field position early in this game as Will Moran is back to receive the punt. Now the line of scrimmage will be the 14-yard line. Jesuit showing a 10-man front here.
I would be surprised if they really go after it. I know Coach Sonji, he says the St. Aug went off one of their own players.
Hit one of their own players, and they yell Peter, and Jesuit gets out of the way, and this goes
Huge
nowhere.
Field position.
And the Blue Jays are going to have the ball at the St. Aug 30-yard line. What a way to start for Jesuit, and not the way you want to start for St. Augustine.
No, what I was going to say was, one of the things that in the years past where St. Aug struggled at times in the playoffs is special teams, but Coach Sonji was very complimentary of their special teams during the week, said they were much improved on that side of the ball, and he was really going to have to play well on special teams tonight to win that side of the game.
Jesuit offense led by the senior Robert McMahon. Will line him up. He's got an empty backfield at the moment. Fullback slotted up on the left side. Motion into the formation, short side of the field. Fake it. McMahon keeps it. He's going to be hit and drop for a loss. Great penetration for St. Augustine, and just no chance for McMahon to get going, largely thanks to the penetration by Chris Confident, their outstanding linebacker. It's going to be second down and 11, a loss of 1.
Yeah, Coach Bainsfall, the offensive coordinator, he was a little worried about what St. Aug was going to do on defense, and what he thought was going to happen was they were going to load up the box and put as many people up there as they could. It looks like that's kind of what they're doing. They got about 10 guys within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage.
Twin running backs in the backfield. Run it to the right. Robinson broke a tackle. Good hard run. Crosses the 25 and gets down near a first down around the 20-yard line. That was a good run by Willie Robinson.
Yeah, great cut. He's been hurt. I know he's back. The Whittington kid had been and playing for him, but he looked good right there. Put his foot in the ground and got upfield, got positive yards, good 8-9 yards there.
10 yards for Robinson. So from 2nd and 11 to 3rd and 1 at the 21. Jesuit does have a fine kicker. If you're thinking in those terms, but they got to be thinking 2 downs here if you run the ball, 3rd and 1 at the 21.
You're going to have to score against these guys, and 3's not going to help you out in the long run. You need 7.
Brayton Whittington, the running back now, fullback slotted up front, and they're going to blow the whistle, and that's going to be a timeout, Jesuit. Play clock was running down. Blue Jays will take timeout as a result with 8:14 to play in the first quarter and no score. Let's set the offense. Robert McMahon, the quarterback. Brayton Whittington, Willie Robinson, the running backs. Tight end Jack Jarnico. Up front, the tackles are Max McMahon and Jack Juge. The guards, Patrick Moats and Juge. It's Keefe at tackle, let me mention. Jacob Keefe at left tackle. And Brian Balestra at the center. Wide receivers, Noah Varnado. We'll see Luke Besh, Will Moran, Brandon Bergman. St. Augustine defensively. Up front, they're tough. Vincent Joseph, Samaj Davis, Kendall Rowan. Linebackers, Cameron Morris, Tymon Berryhill, Chris Confident. We'll see Kevin Cooley, Mario Johnson, Jabaz Miles as well. In the deep, Kenneth Rivard, Damon McFarland Jr., DeAndre Cooper, Taj Adams, Jaheim Walters. They are missing Tremaine Brown. He's got a bicep injury, not playing in this game. 3rd and 1. Blue Jays at the Purple Knights, 21. Power formation, Whittington the running back. And St. Augustine jumps. Should be an automatic first down for Jesuit. I did not see any Blue Jay move. That's going to cost St. Aug 5, and that's a first down for Jesuit. Second penalty for 10 yards on the Purple Knights.
Yeah, good discipline by the Jesuit offensive line. Not, holding the snap count. I'm sure they had a play to run, ready to go if they didn't jump. But hey, you'll take the free win anytime you can get it.
Jesuit gets its first down in the red zone at the St. Aug 16-yard line. Tight formation, single receiver right. Two tight end look, power football, run Whittington, ran over a tackler, bounces to about the 13-yard line, picks up 3. Brayton Whittington for 3 to make it 2nd and 7.
Yeah, just power football right there, just running downhill. And that's smart on Jesuit's part. If they're going to try to run sideline to sideline, might not fit very well just from the difference in speed. Running downhill is probably the best bet they have tonight.
2nd and 7 at the 13-yard line. We have 7:45 and counting first quarter with no score. This time, twin receivers to the left and a single to the right. Empty backfield for McMahon. Motion into formation, Whittington. Fake it, keep it. Got one block, cuts back, got another block. He's tackled at the 10. Good tackle in space. But then a flag is down, as mentioned. So hold everything. Tackle for St. Aug made by Kenneth Rivard Jr. But again, play took a while to develop, and this is likely going to go against the Jays.
Yeah, right at the point of attack. One of the linemen, I really couldn't see who it was, but he was getting beat, kind of grabbed him a little bit, kind of threw him to the ground. It was a good call by the official.
First penalty, 12 yards infraction. It's a spot foul. Again, I don't like that rule.
Yeah, we talked about that a couple last week, and it's just they need to change that. It's not a good rule.
So to the 25, as a result, 2nd and 19 for Jesuit, behind the chains for the first time, and now bordering on the field goal range. 1. I think Jesuit just took its 2nd timeout already.
Yeah.
So Jesuit's already taken 2 timeouts in the first 4 minutes and 44 seconds. And what would you surmise there, Lon?
The first one, I think you got it right. Play clock was winding down right there. Maybe just not really knowing what you wanted to go to. Again, like you said, you're pretty much in field position. So, maybe you don't take a chance getting a sack or another holding penalty. So maybe kind of think a little bit more about what you want to do and keep yourself in scoring range.
Offense back on the field for Jesuit. Luke Besh will be split to one side. Noah Varnado is to the left, and there's a receiver in the slot that way as well. 2nd and 19, wide side, right side of the field. McMahon with motion into the formation, fakes it, rolling right, looking, still looking, can't find anyone, will run. He's going to be thrown down hard at about the 23-yard line. McMahon was trying to look for that one receiver to uncover. Did not happen. Wisely didn't throw the ball into traffic and kept for a couple of yards.
Yeah, St. Aug did a great job in coverage right there. For a minute, I thought that crossing route, that drag route coming from across the field might have had a little window there. But, again, you don't want to force it right here and take yourself out of scoring position.
It's a gain of 2, so it's third down. 17 yards to go at the 23. Got out of bounds, stopped the clock with 7:06 to play here in the first. 3rd and 17. Here's McMahon. Looking, steps up, heavy pressure, got away from one. He might run now. Now he's looking, can't find anyone, and he'll go down. So McMahon is sacked back at about the 24-yard line. And great job by St. Aug in coverage, and then in pursuit as well to get there and make sure that nothing was happening. Kendall Rowan was the first there for the Purple Knights. That will go as a sack.
Well,
no gain.
I tell you, if he would have seen him, he had Will Moran coming across the end zone wide open. Nobody even close to him. If he could have picked him up coming across.
So here's Shurik to try a 40-yard field goal. He certainly has the leg for this. Left hash, good snap. The spot is down. The kick is plenty hard enough, and it is right through the uprights and good. So with 6:21 to play in the first quarter, Jesuit takes a 3-0 lead, capitalizing on the short field to get the early lead.
Yeah, I know Coach Sonji would have liked to get 7 there, but you know what? You draw first blood, you're up 3-0. Your defense played real well that first series. You had to get points there with that field position that you got.
So a 3-0 lead for Jesuit at the 6:21 mark of the first quarter. Not much of a drive, just 5 yards on the drive, but again, the field position turned out to be what made it happen, and they took advantage of it. That's simple.
Yeah, I mean, you have to there. That would have been really deflating to your team if you didn't get anything, considering you started at 30-yard line, basically, on the bad punt. But you know, the penalty, that's what it came down to. You get the first down on the offsides, and then you get the holding call, and that just really once you get behind the chains, and that's something Coach Bain's father talked about with me this week. They don't have the explosiveness on offense to get behind the chains, and you saw that right there.
So 3-0 Blue Jays over St. Aug, and now Shurik to kick it off. Single receivers deep for St. Aug. And again, they're not very deep. And here is the pooch kick on the dead run at the 21. Directional kick across the field. Look out here, looking for space. He's got some. Got a big block, 30, 35, 40, 45, and out of bounds hard on the Jesuit sideline with an excellent return for St. Augustine is number 12, Josh White. Well, the strategy that time to pooch kick did not pay off for Jesuit, and St. Aug will have great field position.
Yeah, I mean, the concept of that sky kick is to, put it down between the numbers and the sideline and kind of, swing and gate in on him and hem him in, but he took it all the way across the field, and like you said, Jesuit lost contain and got a big return on it.
1st and 10, 48-yard line. St. Aug operating with a shorter field now, and they will no doubt like that after sputtering on their first possession. Great opportunity here. Woodson sets him down. He has twin running backs next to him in the backfield. On 1st down, he's going to roll to the right. Looking, throwing outside. That's caught, a diving catch inside the 45 and down about the 43. And that's Coatney on the catch. They're going to give those receivers room on the outside.
They have to. Again, it's a speed thing. You don't want to give up the big play. Make them, give them, as we have it. I think it looks like we have heat and humidity timeout right here.
Yeah, we're at the 6-minute mark, so they'll take the hydration break.
Yeah, I mean, you want to make them, the old expression, dink and dunk down the field. You don't want to give up the big play. St. Aug kind of got out of side there, got out of containment, and threw a nice pass. I mean, it's a nice ball where only his guy could catch it. Got a nice arm. First time I've seen him this year, and he put the ball right there.
Well, came out on the first series and tried to run the ball. And
yeah,
that defensive front for Jesuit, as I mentioned, is the strength of its team. Perry Gansey, Owen Melville, Sonny Hazard, Ethan Branch up front, Mark Doherty, Roman Bankson, Matthew Saviak. We'll see Jimbo Hotard and linebackers, DBs, Ethan Kerrigan, Freddie Washington, Cameron Helm, and Will Hawkins. The St. Augustine offense, of course, led by Woodson, the quarterback, DeAndre Cooper, Devin Coatney, Broderick Martin, Kai Matthew, Josh White, Tylee Keasley, all will play at receiver. Running backs, Justin Doyle, Mahmoud Bailey, and up front, Samaj Payton, Ethan Moore, Gillen Pan, Ted Melson Jr., and Darrell Lewis Jr. 2nd and 2 at the Jesuit 44. Bailey is the running back, and he will get the call running right. Bailey's got a first down and more. He's at the 35. He's inside the 30 and dives down to about the 28-yard line. Off tackle play to the short side of the field, and Mahmoud Bailey breaks it big for a gain of 16 and a first down.
Yeah, I mean, the first series, they kind of tried to go right up the middle. This time they widened it out a little bit, try to use that speed in their favor.
And going no huddle here to speed things up. The Purple Knights on 1st and 10 at the Jesuit 28-yard line. Wanting to throw, Woodson steps up in traffic. He's decked at about the 35-yard line. And there's big Sonny Hazard, a familiar name in Jesuit lore. Thinking about Nicky Hazard and, of course, his older brother John. Continuing that tradition, a sack for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, he's a good-looking player. I mean, the coaches have nothing but great things to say about him and how he plays the game. Just tough and physical.
7-yard loss to the 35 at 2nd. At 17 yards to go as a result. Snap it. Fakes to Bailey. Hot pass outside. Martin caught it at the 35. He's to the 30. Ran through a tackle. 25-20. Broderick Martin showing you what he's all about. He just ran through that tackle. Barrels down to the 20. Got 15 to make it a 3rd and 2.
Yeah, Jesuit sent some pressure there, and they basically had an uncovered receiver out here, and that was a big gain for him.
So 15 yards. Now a very manageable 3rd and 2 as a result. Bailey, the running back. He'll get the call running left. He's going to fight forward for the first down as he crosses the 20 and gets down near the 17. Needed 2. Looks like he got about 3. Mahmoud Bailey giving them a change of pace and doing a good job on this series. 3 yards and a first down, Purple Knights at the Jesuit 17.
It's still going tempo here, trying to keep the pace of the game up.
Quickly, Bailey, this time nothing. Saw the white shirt, so he tried to reverse field right, and there was no chance because Perry Gansey was waiting for him.
Yeah, Gansey, I was told, I didn't realize this, but he's a two-time state champion in wrestling.
Yes, and I do wrestling all the time, so I'm very familiar with it.
Probably going to be one again this year. And wrestlers that hands, he's playing with his hands, getting off blocks and making plays, and that wrestling is really beneficial to that for him.
Loss of 1 at 2nd and 11 from the 18. Woodson wants to reverse it, can't find anyone, steps up, he runs through 1, he's at the 20, took a big hit, lost his helmet, look out, and he's down at about the 12. They're going to say down at the 15, so his knee touched down there, now he lost his helmet, so he's got to come out of the game for a play.
Yes, he does.
So your quarterback has to leave for a play. That's never a good thing, but it is a good rule.
Yes, it is. Number 11 looks like he's coming in at quarterback.
Right, well, their backup quarterback is Kendall Sampson,
yes,
the sophomore. He's 3 for 3 throwing the ball on the year. And this is a throwing down 3rd and 7 at the 15-yard line. Bailey gained 4 on that play. 3, actually. And the ball's on the turf, chases it down. Deep trouble, Bailey steps up, steps out. He's going to get decked way back at the 30. An aborted play, and that really hurts St. Augustine. Takes them out of field goal range completely.
I wouldn't be surprised if they go for it here, even though it's really long yardage. But, again, we changed the quarterback. What happens? It looked like he wasn't even ready for the snap. I mean, they didn't even realize the ball was past him until they turned around and found it. I mean, he just did not expect that snap at all.
Loss of 16 yards back to the 31. You talk about a change. At the 31, 4th down and 23. They need the 8-yard line. They'll go for it. Trip set left, single receiver right. Woodson back on. Puts a man in motion, retreats to throw. They flood left. He's going to roll right. Nobody there. Now he's waving it downfield. Steps up, he'll run. No chance to get to the marker. Jesuit gets the stop as Bailey's going to be stopped at the 23-yard line. Gain of 8, but nowhere near the first down. And a big stop for Jesuit.
Yeah, great pursuit running quarterback down by Owen Melville, the defensive lineman. He stayed with the play and ran the quarterback down and kept him from picking up more yards.
Yeah, Woodson, of course, on the carry. So he's back in the game, and St. Augustine turns it over on downs with 2:14 to play in the first quarter. Still 3-0 Blue Jays on top, and Jesuit starts at its own 23. So Jesuit offense back on the field. Willie Robinson will be in the backfield. open up with Twins right and a single receiver to the left. Wide side, right side. McMahon pump fakes, wants to go deep. He's going to gun it down the sideline. The defense is there, incomplete. Jesuit's favorite play, the pump and go.
Yeah.
But St. Aug not going for it. They've seen that a few times, and a good job in coverage. Jaheim Waters was there for St. Aug, and so was 23, Edward Giles III.
Yeah, they tried just, little pump fake, like they were going to throw a screen out here and try to get the receiver to little pat his feet and take off, and the corner didn't bite on it at all.
2nd and 10 at the 23-yard line with 2:08 to play in the first. Trips right, single left, fake it. McMahon wants to throw a bubble screen underneath. It's incomplete. Pass was a little tall, and having to reach up to try to snare it was Will Moran, and he could not do so.
Yeah, he had a little penetration in his face, and guy was barreling down on him from the inside. Ball got away from him. It would have been a nice little gain if he could have completed that.
So now 3rd down and 10, Jesuit. From the 23. And again, they'll have a 4-receiver set this time. Twins to either side. Open the formation with Robinson in the backfield. Quick snap. McMahon going to throw it deep out. It is going to be caught on the sideline, and it looks like a first down. Jesuit it is at about the 36-yard line. He had a long throw to make, and he made it. And the catch is good for a first down. Blue Jays has a good job to get it out there, and the catch made by Varnado.
Yeah, that's always a scary throw. You can throw him from one hash all the way to the opposite wide side of the field. That's a scary throw, but I tell you what, he put it there, and first down for the Jays.
Long throw to make, and he made it 13 yards. And a first down. Robinson running left. Got hit in the backfield, shook it off. He makes a nice run to get about 3. Made a nice job to shake a tackle and then made a nice cut. He's got pretty good vision.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's coming off an injury, and it looks real good. I mean, I don't know exactly what injury he had, but I tell you what, he looks like he's running tough tonight.
Gain 3, it's going to be 2nd and 7. At the 2nd and 8. They mark it at the 38, so just 2 yards on the gain. 2nd and 8. Running right. Robinson this time has stood up and stopped in his tracks. No chance to escape the clutches of Kenneth Rivard Jr. The junior came in with 13 tackles. He's got a couple already in this game.
Yeah, slow to develop in counter play. A lot of times those slow developing plays, when you got a lot of speed on defense like Aug has, it's tough to execute that.
3rd and 8 from the 38. Again, twin receivers to either side. Snap it, retreating. McMahon steps up, rolls left, nobody out there. He's by himself. He's going to not get there. Well, there were no receivers in that quadrant. Once he went left, you knew he was in trouble because there was no chance for him to throw the ball.
No, and you try to work things in practice. I know we used to do a lot. We called it scramble drill, and we would just do it against air. When the quarterback scrambled, everybody kind of had a place to go depending on where you were on the field, and just unfortunately everybody was over here and just didn't happen.
St. Aug will have twin receivers deep. Shurik is the punter. Stands at his 28. High snap over his head. He's chasing it back at the 10, at the 5. Fight for the ball. St. Aug has it at the Jesuit 3. Bad pass from center over his head. St. Aug comes up with it. Huge play for the Purple Knights. And coming up with it for St. Augustine was number 34, Dante Smith. And the Purple Knights are at the Jesuit 3-yard line with a 1st and goal.
Yeah, punter didn't have a chance. I mean, that ball was about 3 feet over his head. You try to. It's tough for the kicker, but you might have tried to kick it out of bounds, kick it out of the back of the end zone, only give up 2 on the safety. But St. Aug was right there on the spot and were able to recover. So, and I think that's the end of the quarter.
That is going to be the end of the first quarter with our score. Jesuit 3, St. Augustine nothing. Back with our second quarter in just a moment here at CrescentCitySports.com. Second quarter set to begin. 3-0 Jesuit. But St. Augustine is at the Blue Jay 3-yard line with a 1st and goal after the bad snap over the punter Shurik's head. Nothing he could do in that situation. And now Woodson will operate 1st and goal, and St. Aug with a great chance to take the lead here. Broderick Martin will line up in the backfield. He's a fine wide receiver who will run the ball quite a bit. On 1st and goal, Martin gets the carry. He's hit for a loss. Perry Gansey across the formation tackles him in the backfield for a loss of about 4.
Guess who? Perry Gansey.
So Martin for a loss, back to the 6, a loss of 3. It's 2nd and goal at the 6-yard line. Martin still in the backfield. Snap it, wants to throw it. Woodson lofts it up, back in the end zone, incomplete. Coverage was tight. The pass was intended for number 16, Joseph Miller, and the coverage for Jesuit was good.
Pass interference.
But Vincent Logedis, but they do have a flag, and it looks like they're going to call Logedis for pass interference. Boy, he had good coverage.
Yeah, it was a little bit of contact down there. He tried to get his head around. It was tough to see the flags way down in the corner of the end zone, but you know, that's such a tough call, the pass interference call.
Well, that's going to be a
no, it's
half
not
the distance to the goal
not an
penalty.
automatic first down.
Half the distance to the goal, so it will remain 2nd down and goal, but now from the 3-yard line where they were on 1st down. Second penalty, 15 yards on Jesuit. On 2nd and goal, snap it, run it inside, broke 1 tackle, but Mahmoud Bailey is swallowed up at the 4. Jesuit defensive front is tough. He's lost another yard here. Their offense has been unable to move that Jesuit front, running the ball early. Mark Doherty had 25 tackles coming in to lead this team, and you can see why.
Yeah, Hazard's the one who kind of broke that up at the beginning. He got really good penetration and made him the running back kind of change direction and let the linebackers come clean things up. So their D-line's really playing tough right now.
3rd and goal at the 5. They lost 2 on the play. On 3rd and goal from the 5. Wants to throw, does, it's open, touchdown Purple Knights. Mahmoud Bailey on the reception from Trevon Woodson, and St. Augustine takes a 6-3 lead.
That was a great play call by the St. Aug offensive coaches. Jesuit was in man, and they sent somebody off the edge, and that was the running back coming out of the backfield. Nobody picked him up. He was wide open.
So Bailey with a 5-yard touchdown catch gives St. Augustine a 6-3 lead. Extra point coming. Snap is good, the spot is good, the kick is up, and it is good. So delivering on the extra point was Jerron Marks with 10:46 to play in the first half. St. Augustine takes a 7-3 lead over Jesuit. Well done there. Again, the running back just found space, nobody.
Just, like I said, man coverage, and nobody was responsible for him. And whoever was didn't see him. I don't know if it was the guy blitzing off the edge that should have had him, depending on their scheme. But definitely a great play call by the St. Aug coaches.
So 7-3, 10:46 to play in the half.
And you're going to see that from a lot of teams, even at the high school level. A lot of teams defensively will come in when you get close. Inside the 10-yard line, a lot of teams are going to go man coverage on you. Mm-hmm. And good film study by the St. Aug coaches and seeing it.
For more than half a century, offering services, solutions, and support for businesses and associations looking for happier constituents and healthier bottom lines, it's Gills Bar. Gills Bar, headquartered on the North Shore. And to learn more on how Gills Bar can help your business, visit gillsbar.com. Our thanks to Gills Bar and Hank Miltenberger for their support of our CrescentCitySports.com webcast. So St. Aug capitalizes on the bad snap on the punt. They take a 7-3 lead, and here's the kickoff. It's a bouncer, fielded at the 11. 15, 20, seam 25, 30. Hit it hard at the 35. Good return, Moran, it appears, up to about the 39-yard line for the Blue Jays. So good return by Will Moran gives Jesuit good field position here with 10:37 to play in the half. St. Aug up 7-3.
Yeah, we'll see how Jesuit's offense responds here. Didn't have a great offensive series the first 2 times, so we'll see if they got a little something to take advantage of the field position this time.
From the 38-yard line. Operating with twin running backs next to him. Snap it. That man gives it off. Cutback is a good one by Whittington, but tackle for a short gain of 2 on the play. It will be 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, and Jesuit they can't panic here. I mean, it's a 7-3 ball game. They just need to stick to their game plan, keep doing what they came into the game trying to do, and that's, they're going to try to run the football, take their shots when they get a chance.
2nd and 8. McMahon with a man in motion, fakes it, wants to throw it. He's going to look deep to the post. Got a man running free, and he caught it.
Great
Beautiful
catch.
throw and catch.
Great catch.
And that's Varnado all the way down to the St. Aug 20-yard line. Perfect throw by McMahon. Outstanding catch by Varnado to lay out and catch it. And there's a big play for the Blue Jays and a first down at the St. Aug 20.
He ran a great route. I mean, he pressed that corner, and he looked like he was going to run a fade. He put his outside foot in the ground, and then he cut back up underneath him to the post, and free safety was chasing all the way. And I tell you, McMahon put that ball on the money.
What a throw and what a catch. 39 yards to Varnado and a first down at the St. Aug 20. Man in motion across the formation. And they run it inside with room at the 20 to the 15, just about as Whittington and down. Boy, he had some space initially, but then tracked down. Good pursuit by the Purple Knights.
Look, like we said earlier, in their offense, that's a great play for them on first down. They picked up 5 yards. I mean, now that playbook just really expands when you're at 2nd and 5. He did a good job finding the hole and picking up 5 yards.
Whittington gets 5 at 2nd and 5 at the 16. McMahon is going to roll right, the strong side. He's got a man open in the flat, hits him, and he'll get right near the first down. Flooded the zone, very well done. And the pass complete to Luke Besch, the sophomore, and he gets the first down for the Blue Jays. So Jesuit has a first down, and it's going to be 1st and goal at the 10.
Yeah, Coach Bainsfather's doing a good job mixing it up. A little run and, a little flood pass, like you said, taking a shot. So doing a real good job trying to keep their defense off balance.
6-yard completion. Jesuit on the move. 1st and goal. Oh, he tripped and fell. Whittington is going to lose a couple yards. He just might have tripped over his foot.
I think he tripped over the quarterback's
right.
foot. Yeah, that's unfortunate because they had some good blocking up front. That offensive line was doing a pretty good job right there, sitting on some double teams. So that's an unfortunate play for them.
Loss of 2, and it's 2nd down and goal from the 12.
I'd like to see Coach Sonji told me they had some rub routes in for man coverage, and looks like St. Aug is going to be in some type of man coverage right here down deep in the red zone. I wonder if he's going to pull something like that out right here. Try to, beat this man coverage with a little bit of a rub.
On 2nd and goal, motion into the formation. Going to fake it and keep it. McMahon at the 10. McMahon put his shoulder down and drives to about the 7-yard line. Gets about 5 on the play. Had a little gap there.
Yeah, that's a power read offense. He can hand it off or he can pull it and follow that guard through the hole, kind of reading the defensive end what he's doing. And if he stretches it out a little bit, then he pulls it and cuts it up inside, and if they get a good seal by the tackle, then he'll hand it off to the running back.
Injured player for St. Augustine. On the right side is Bishop Thomas, the freshman linebacker. He's a freshman at 6'1", 235.
Wow. Yeah, it looks like he kind of went over to the sideline and just kind of fell down. When I looked up, he was like on the ground on a knee, and a lot of people came rushing over to look at him, so hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, no doubt. They'll check him out and talk it over with 7:26 to play in the first half. 7-3. St. Augustine on top of Jesuit. Jordan Liuza with us as well. Pretty even Steven thus far, Jordan, by and large.
Yeah, I'd say so. Both teams have kind of capitalized. So far so good.
Trevon Woodson, 4 for 4, 30 yards for St. Aug. McMahon, 3 for 5, and 57 yards for Jesuit. And now we'll see how this pans out. With Jesuit playing a big down here, 3rd down and goal from about the 7-yard line.
Yeah, they would really like to get 6 here. Probably going to have to throw the football again. I just mentioned about some rub routes that they had in the package this week. Like to see maybe something there. Try to get some guy open. Varnado is their guy. He's out there kind of on his own at the top of the screen, wide side of the field. Might be a little one-on-one situation.
And out of his reach. A flag down, though, for the hit on the quarterback, and I think that could be roughing the passer, and it is a gigantic penalty against the Purple Knights for the hit delivered on McMahon. Boy, that is a big mistake by St. Augustine. They had the stop, but that is not going to turn out well for them. Berryhill made the hit, but that is really going to cost St. Aug.
Yeah, it's kind of been a half of big plays. Snaps over the head, bad punts, now a roughing the passer. What they tried to do was they tried to do a little bootleg to the right where Varnado was, and he came all the way across, and it was kind of a pull-up throwback. And St. Aug did a good job covering it up.
It's a 4-yard penalty, and it's an automatic first down. First and goal at the 3. Big chance for Jesuit now to take the lead as a result. 3 penalties, 14 yards on St. Aug. This one really hurts.
Yeah, those are those killer penalties that you just hate to see.
From the 3 on first and goal, Robinson gets the call. 2-1 touchdown. Willie Robinson off the left side scores, and Jesuit has taken a 9-7 lead.
Yeah, great job by the left side there. Keefe, that's the guy that Coach Sonji talked about a lot, the left tackle. Juge, Balestra, Moats, McMahon, all those guys were real good up front. Got a good push for that touchdown right there.
Extra point coming from Shurik. Good snap. Shurik's kick is up, and he's hammered it hard, and he's hammered it true. So at 6:54 to play in the first half, Jesuit has taken a 10-7 lead. That was a good answer right there by the Blue Jays, and aided by the penalty.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at all 17 points have been because of a big mistake by the other team. We had the bad punt, got the first 3 for Jesuit. And then we had the snap over the head, get St. Aug's touchdown, and then now the roughing the passer gets Jesuit 7. So both teams have done a good job capitalizing on the other guys' mistakes.
No doubt. So this was a 7-play, 61-yard drive, 3:47 off the clock. Willie Robinson, 3-yard touchdown, and it is now 10-7. Jesuit on top of St. Augustine. Let's see if Jesuit elects to kick deep here or kick the pooch kick like they did last time, which did not work out for them.
Yeah, and a lot of times, like I said, it's being called from the sideline or somebody up in the press box is seeing how they line up and telling them what to do, and they signal to the kickoff team what to do. It might be a win thing. I'm looking at the flags. It's kind of died down a little bit, so if they're going to line tight, I would try to kick it over their head. I would definitely not let that guy get a running start and come across the field like he did the last time.
If you have a kicker that can reach the end zone, you give him a chance to do so because it's the big eraser in high school football.
Oh, it's a weapon.
Here's the kick. He hits this one high. He hits it deep. It is returnable at about the 5. Upfield 10, 15. Looks for a cut. Goes outside at about the 20. Josh White to the boundary. We'll run out of room at about the 25-yard line. And a flag comes down late, normally on the return game.
I don't know what that was. I mean, the returner was well out of bounds when that flag came, but it wasn't anything from the hit out of bounds or anything.
Yeah.
It was the middle of the field. Looks like it's going to be against St. Aug.
Usually is on a kick return.
Oh, no. It's going to be against Jesuit.
Oh, no. So it must be a face mask. And it's going to be 15 big ones. So that's 15 on Jesuit. Their third penalty, 30 yards. And St. Aug's going to come out of this with excellent field position at the 40-yard line.
Again, another mistake, given field position. And let's see if St. Aug can capitalize on that.
Short fields have been the rage in this one.
Yeah,
in the first half.
All the scorings come on short fields.
Bailey, the running back. Trip set right, single left. Motion, Coatney to the opposite side. Fake it, wants to throw it. Woodson all kinds of time. Guns it down the middle, caught. Nice catch. And up near the first down and then driven back with the reception was Kai Matthew.
Forward progress is going to give him the first. He came out of nowhere. I mean, he just threw that ball. Next thing you know, the receiver was right there in the middle of the field.
Came back nicely to the football, didn't he?
Yes.
Gain of 11 to the Jesuit 49 and a first down. Looking, rolling, good run. He's going to throw, and it's caught, but was he past the line of scrimmage? They're looking at it, but I don't think they're going to call that. It's caught again by Matthew.
The flag. I think the referee just dropped the flag. You can't see it.
He was right by the line of scrimmage when he threw it. He hit Matthew. He looked like he might have been a half yard or a yard past when he let the ball go. He'd broken contain.
The white hat came.
But I believe this is an illegal forward pass.
Yeah, the white hat came and dropped the flag. Hard to see because the Jesuit players.
Right.
Yeah.
There it is. Past the line of scrimmage, illegal forward pass. Certainly looked that way from my perspective, which is why I called it right away.
Yeah, and the rule says your entire body has to be behind the line of scrimmage, but we don't have the benefit of 20 camera angles and replay like the pros in college. But, he was close, and it probably a good call.
Penalty puts the ball back to the 48-yard line where it's 1st and 13 officially.
Is that a loss
second
of down?
It's a loss of
it
down.
Is a loss
second
of
down.
Yeah.
Loss of down from the 48, second down and 13. 4 penalties, 17 yards on St. Aug. Snap it, wants to throw it. Big rush, steps up, he's got space. 50, 45, 40, first down and more. Dives down at about the 36. Great decision by Woodson, and he shows you his escapability and his speed.
Yeah, the Jesuit coaches were worried about that. They did not want to, and he likes to step up and run. He's not one really to run from the outside. He likes to step up in the pocket and take off.
And a first down. As a result, Woodson with a really good run. 16 yards. And this doesn't look good from the start as everything was messed up and whistles blow. Official timeout before the snap took place.
Wow.
Which might be why that thing looked as weird as it did.
I mean, that's one of the things about that rule. The umpire blew that, and I mean, literally right before the snap. I mean, if you were going to do it, why not? You don't have. There's no rule that says it has to be at 6 minutes. It's whenever it gets around that time.
Yeah,
they should have blown it right after the kid got tackled.
Right, I don't like that. If you're at the line of scrimmage and you're ready to go.
Yeah, he should have let that play go and then call it after the next
Yeah, I mean,
play.
I'm all for the hydration break, but I don't like the timing of that at all.
Well, and the other part about it is that you're not supposed to stop the momentum of a team to call it. If they're in a drive or in a big play or something like that, you're not supposed to give an unfair advantage to one team or another with that heat and hydration. And that's kind of what he did. They were running tempo, just had a big first down, and then right before they snap it, he blows the whistle and goes because it hit 6 minutes. I don't like that.
2nd and 10 at the Jesuit 36. 5:59 to play in the half. 10-7 Jesuit on top. Ken Trahan, Lon Elsie, Jordan Liuza with you. Snap it, fake it. Throws the hitch outside. That's caught. Looks for a block. Got it. 35, 30, and scooting for a first down near the 25 with a good run after the catch was DeAndre Cooper. Good job by Cooper. And a first down to about the 25, a gain of 11.
I tell you, Broderick Martin, number 15, he could have blocked in the back right there, and he did a great job just kind of shielding that defender off and opening that up.
11-yard gain and a first down. Purple Knights on the move. Here's Woodson wanting to throw heavy pressure. Escapes right. He's going to look and throw to the outside and just throw it away smartly.
And Gansey again causing havoc back there.
That's his first incomplete pass, by the way.
Wow.
So it's going to be second down and 10 yards to go. That's the first time the ball's hit the ground. He's 6 for 7. 2nd and 10 at the Jesuit 25. And 3 receivers split right. Single receiver isolated left. Running inside. Big hole. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Purple Knights wide open, popping it left side for the score is Jaden Jamison.
Yeah, just a little zone
I'm trying
play
to see
the
who
left.
that was. I can't. We do not. Okay, it's Albert Quest. That's who it was. Albert Quest, who came into the game, and Quest breaks it for 25 yards, and St. Augustine recaptures the lead 13-10. How about Quest and his quickness there?
Yeah, I mean, he just kind of got up in that line of scrimmage, and next thing you know, he squirted out to the other side, and it almost like nobody even saw that he had the football.
Marks for the extra point, and it is good. So at 5:18 to play in the first half, back and forth we go. St. Augustine 14 and Jesuit 10. There's a big answer by the Purple Knights.
Yeah, again, it's been the field position. They get the big penalty, get the field position there on the face mask, and then capitalize. So that's kind of been the tail of the half tonight.
5-play drive, 60 yards, and it didn't take very long. Minute and 27 seconds for St. Aug to recapture the lead. And they snuck Albert Quest in there, and he's somewhat diminutive, but boy, he sure didn't look like it there. He's 5'6", 155. The sophomore found a hole, and nobody touched him. He just
those little backs, they get up in that line, like I said, and sometimes they get lost in there because they're so small, and then next thing you know, it's like they're shot out of a cannon, little quick guys, and that's kind of what happened there. Just before anybody realized where he was 10 yards down the field.
So Quest 25 yards and a score. And St. Aug back on top, 14-10. Flags down on the kickoff, so we'll have to do it again. This is on St. Aug. We'll move them back 5 yards, and they'll kick it again.
Again, Jesuit has an opportunity to get some decent field position again. Doesn't look like St. Aug can put the ball real deep on the kickoff. You're going to have about 5 minutes to go. Plenty of time to keep running your offense and get a drive going and get some points on the board, even if you get a field goal. Because Jesuit's going to get the ball back to start the second half. They get it first. So if you can get some points either way, you can double up at the beginning of the second half.
So 5-yard penalty back at the 35-yard line now. This kickoff will occur. Short kick down the middle. It's going to be fielded on the run nicely at the 30, 35. Moran fighting his way forward near the 40. Good job to catch it on the run and get north and south. That's what you want to see right there, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, when you run a kickoff return, I mean, it's catch it and go. If you start dancing around, it just nothing's going to happen. You got to find a seam, and sometimes it pops and sometimes it doesn't, but you just got to hit it.
Blue Jays will start from their own 40 with 5:11 to play in the half. 14-10, Purple Knights on top.
Just run your offense here. If you're Coach Bain's father, Coach Sanji, just run your offense. You got plenty of time to get down and get into field position to get some points.
Wide side, right side of the field, open formation, 4 receivers set. Robinson in the backfield with McMahon on first down. Low snap, fielded it, retreats, looks, throws down the middle, caught. Moran first down, 50, 45, and down to about the 43, and flags come down everywhere for what looks like it might be a block in the back. Moran the catch and run, but then a block is going to probably push him back. Game was to about the 44, which would be 16 yards. So they discuss the penalty. Should be from the end of the play or where the foul occurred.
Where the foul occurred, yeah, it's a spot foul.
Right. So as it stands, would be 16 yards and then likely 10 the other way.
Yeah, I didn't really see what happened. I just saw a load of laundry come flying from about 3 different officials.
This is a personal foul against Jesuit. Big difference with a personal foul. So a 16-yard gain and then a 15-yard penalty. So almost negates the entire gain.
He did some other signal after the personal foul, and something I've never seen before. So I don't know exactly what that was, but obviously he did something because 3 flags came flying in. So
it turns out to be 1st and 9 from the 41-yard line. Rolling right. Incomplete. So McMahon's pass incomplete for Besh. It's going to be 2nd and 9.
Yeah, that was a poor pass by McMahon. He had him there to get at least something out of that. The Jesuits used a lot of motion on offense, and I think they're doing that to get the secondary to move a little bit, kind of see what they're doing. It's been pretty successful for them, even in the run game, because it moves people around.
Right.
We'll see if they keep sticking to that kind of thing.
2nd and 9. Low snap, picks it up off the turf, steps up, heavy pressure, and he'll go down. McMahon sacked for a loss of a yard. That play looked bad from the start with the snap. Boy, they've had some problems with the snaps in this game. Good job by the Purple Knight defensive front. Bishop Thomas was there. So was 98 Vincent Joseph.
Yeah, when you're in the shotgun, a bad snap, high-low, just screws everything up. It's just, it just things start snowballing downhill after that.
Loss of 1 on the sack, 3rd down and 10. McMahon, pressure, throws it outside, caught. Besh, 45, dives forward and looks like he got it. Stayed in bounds, and he'll get the 1st down.
Wow,
great effort by Besh, and a 1st down to the St. Aug 46, and he skirted that sideline, didn't he?
Yeah, and he's just a sophomore. And Coach Sanji mentioned him in our talk Thursday, and he real high on him. They like what he does, and he does a good job in the return game as well.
14 yards and a 1st down. As Besh has his 2nd catch for 20 yards. Jesuit moves the chains, overcomes the penalty. Looking, McMahon, gonna go deep, sideline. Varnado caught it on a,
wow.
Well, they're gonna say he caught it. Inbounds right near the sideline. My first impression was he might have been out.
Yeah, I didn't think he got it
But he caught
either.
it.
The official trailing came up to the back, the line judge in the back, I think he was kind of saying, hey, and the guy said he was nodding his head. He got it. That was a big call right there. Great
27 yards and a 1st down, and Jesuit in great shape again as Varnado comes up with a big catch. His 3rd catch of the game, 78 yards. Robinson stood up, dropped, no gain. Good defense.
Yeah, I don't think that's where Jesuit's going to have a lot of success, just with the speed. I think the downhill zone stuff is really, because they're pretty decent size up front, Jesuit. They're not small. And they've done a good job, that offensive line moving those guys around for St. Aug. And I just think you run sideways, you play into St. Aug's hands as a defense.
2nd and goal of the 19 in the red zone, Blue Jays. Wide side, left side of the field. Twin receivers to either side. Robinson, the running back. And now we get a whistle up front, timeout St. Aug, I believe. Yep. So they take their 1st time out. Clock hasn't stopped yet for some reason. I don't know why the clock's still running.
Still running.
I mean, it's just ticked off about 7 seconds there. We're going to get Jordan Liuzza to go down and talk to whichever coach is ahead at halftime and get a couple of questions. So we'll get him to do that and come back up and let you hear his conversation with whichever coach is ahead at the half. We'll do that coming up at halftime. But also at halftime, you'll have a chance to hear from Nathaniel Jones. I had a chance to sit down with Nathaniel Jones earlier this week and talk to him about the Burns family, Winston Burns, and about St. Augustine and about himself and his career and what he's done and where he's at. And you'll hear that coming up at halftime with Coach Nathaniel Jones of St. Augustine. And want to thank Coach Nathaniel Jones, Barrett Ray, the athletic director at St. Augustine, for helping make this possible here today at St. Augustine's home game and honoring Winston Burns and the Burns family at large. Wonderful people, just pillars in this community. And it's a privilege to know them. Line of scrimmage will be the 19, 2nd and 10 Blue Jays. 2:50 to play in the half. Motion. Varnado, they fake it to him. McMahon wants to throw, steps up. Now decides to throw a deep jump ball. Coming, caught it, touchdown.
Wow.
What a throw, and a beautiful catch made on what was a perfect throw. Number 11, Luke LaForge on the catch, and the Blue Jays take a 16-14 lead.
Another sophomore, LaForge, and that was another thing Coach Sonji and I talked about. He really likes this sophomore class of his. He thinks they're very talented, and he's really excited about the future moving forward, this group of sophomores that he has.
Oh, just a beautiful throw. And Jesuit recaptures the lead, 16-14. Shurik's extra point. He's got it up, and he's got it good. 2:40 to play in the first half. What a game. Back and forth we go. Jesuit 17, St. Augustine 14. And this is fun, Lon.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it the other day, you and I, and it said it was going to be a huge game, and both teams are playing like it's a huge game. It's only week one in the district, and it's almost playing like a playoff game. And, that just, again, shows you what we talked about in pregame, just the Catholic League and just everything it's about. And having been a player in it and a coach in it for so long, it's such a special thing that a lot of people just don't understand unless you've experienced it.
7-play drive, 60 yards, 2:31 off the clock. And Robert McMahon is, with all due respect to last year, is a step up for Jesuit at quarterback.
Yeah, and he played receiver last year. Coach Bainsfather and I talked about that last week, and they didn't want to waste him last year because he is an athlete, so they had him at receiver, and they said in the spring, hey, let's just look at him again at quarterback, and he beat everybody out, and he's playing well. I mean, that was a great throw under pressure. I mean, he was scrambling. He was about to, get hit really hard from one of their defensive linemen, and, I mean, he couldn't have put that in a better spot, and he looks real good tonight. And I promised his dad I was going to say some good things about him. It was his dad and I graduated together, so I told him I would just say some good stuff about him.
Kickoff from Shurik. High, deep. White chases it, caught it, and he's in the end zone. Touchback. Just crossed into the end zone, so a touchback. And with 2:40 to play in the first half, St. Augustine will start from its own 20, trailing 17-14.
Now, it's key here for Jesuit's defense. They have to get a stop right here, because then your double up on the points can happen. You don't want St. Aug to get a big play here with 2:40 left and get up on you or tie it going into halftime. You want to have that lead and be able to increase that lead coming back into the second half on your first possession.
Purple Knight offense has 2 timeouts. Start from their own 20. Haven't seen the freshman Doyle since the opening series. Don't think he's hurt, but they've gone to a quicker style. A 5-receiver set. Trips right, 2 left. Throw outside, caught Broderick Martin, and good tackle immediately made for Jesuit by number 7, Ethan Kerrigan, a gain of 4.
That's his second big tackle on a play like that. St. Aug's got somebody down. Second one.
Want to see that.
Number 70, I believe. Dylan Pam.
Third catch for Martin for 21 yards, but again, the injury will stop things here with 2:24 to play in the half. The Purple Knights are going to have to sub an offensive lineman here momentarily.
The number 7, Ethan Kerrigan, he came up and made a big hit in the first series of St. Aug on a similar play. Real short tackle right there, and 4-yard gain. But the key right now with only 2.5 left is you don't want to give up a big play. Make them earn it. Make them go down the field. Make them run as many plays as possible and keep that clock ticking.
Pam is going to limp off, putting a little bit of weight on his right foot and leg, getting a little better as he walks. That's what you want to see, is improvement with every step, and you're kind of seeing that right now.
We'll see if Jesuit wants to bring some pressure here.
And the new player in the game is future Lee Jr., who's a junior, 5'11", 240. 2nd and 6, snap it. Woodson pressured, forced out, will run it. 20, steps out of bounds, stops the clock, but only got a couple. Here comes a big 3rd and 4.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Jesuit, you're trying to get this stop here and make them punt. And even if they do get a first down, just, don't give up that big play.
3rd and 4 at the 26. That's a swing down.
It's a huge play for
both teams.
Yes,
right.
Absolutely.
3 receivers left, a single right. Woodson barking signals. Bailey in the backfield with him. Fans are into this one, as you might imagine. Woodson to throw the slant. It's caught. And a first down as he shook a tackle. And a good job of escaping the initial tackle and getting the first down by DeAndre Cooper.
But that's fine. If they catch it 5 or 6 yards, come up and make the tackle. As soon as the ball is set, the clock's going to start.
8 yards to the 34. Move the chains with 1:59 left in the half. On first down, Woodson. Rush coming, steps up, and a stun on it, it worked. Sack him back at about the 32-yard line. And the pressure by Hazard, there was a pressure from the outside, forced him up, and then Hazard gets the sack. Second sack for Jesuit.
Yeah, they sent number 49, I believe. Is that 49 or 48? 49. Or was that Soviak they sent? 48. Came off the edge, kind of a delayed blitz. He didn't come right at the snap, kind of waited a second. Let St. Aug kind of set their protection, and then he came off the edge, nobody there. Did a good job, make him step up, and then the D linemen were able to make the sack.
Loss of 1, 2nd and 11. Timeout St. Aug. With 1:40 left, they have 1 remaining here in the first half. Again, coming up at halftime, we'll hear from Coach Nathaniel Jones of St. Augustine. We'll talk to him one-on-one. Good chance to visit with him, and I had earlier this week over at the Greater New Orleans Sports Foundation Quarterback Club at Rockin' Bowl. Got another great one this week on Tuesday. You need to be there at noon at Rockin' Bowl. We'll have the Great American Rivalry Series coaches and the trophy there from Holy Cross and Jesuit. Guy LeCompte and Mark Sanji, and the trophy as well. They'll be there. Alex Atkins, Tulane assistant head coach. Also have Nathan Trish, LSU's assistant director of player personnel, and Jen Hale to talk about the Pelicans and Saints. And Rockin' Bowl Tuesday at noon. 2nd and 11, St. Aug. Snap it. Has time, throws outside. That's caught. 35, broke a tackle, and fighting near the 40 is Cooper, and down there does stay in bounds. So Woodson to Cooper to the 40.
Good job by Jesuit's defense, kind of swarming to the ball, getting as many guys around the ball carrier as possible, keep them in bounds, clock's ticking.
7-yard gain. It's going to be 3rd down and 4.
Another big play here.
3rd and 4 at the 40. Quick snap, Woodson to throw. Woodson is decked. Oh, he didn't see him coming, and he smashed down at about the 31-yard line. And I mean, really hit hard by Trev Haddad, who got there in a hurry.
Yeah, came off the short side of the field. Great blitz right there by Coach Baglio and his defensive coaches. The protection was set. Nobody saw him coming. Quarterback was looking to his left, and huge play.
The 3rd sack for Jesuit, so there's 5 sacks in this game. 3 by the Blue Jays, 2 by the Purple Knights, and now a punting situation for St. Aug from its own 32 with a 4th and 12. Jesuit still has 1 timeout left. There's a minute left. They'll get the ball back. Now remember, St. Aug had a poor punt early in the game. The kicking game has really figured largely in this game, from kick returns to the bad snap by Jesuit to the short punt by St. Aug. If you don't think the kicking game matters, man, it's the separator in so many games.
It is, and it's interesting you bring that up. In my discussions with Mark Sanji, he told me that they are literally, when he does practice, 30% of their practice schedule is devoted to special teams. And every kid on their team does something on special teams, whether it's a backup role or whatever. And every coach coaches special teams. So they give it a lot of attention.
Punt formation for St. Aug. Michael Mims. Single receiver deep. That's Moran. High snap. He pulled it down. Mims gets it away. Smart kick. Kicked it away from the return man. It gets a bounce. But now it stops, and it'll be killed at about the 35 of Jesuit. And they blow the whistle with 49 seconds left to play in the first half. And the Blue Jays do have 1 timeout left in pretty favorable field position. Let's see how Mark Sanji plays it. He does have the lead here. You certainly, if you're Jesuit, thinking that you want to get to the locker room with the lead, but there's safe plays that you can run in this situation.
Yeah, you can run a screen, a draw, something that if you do get a big play, early in the series, then you start to hurry it up and take a shot. I don't think from here, I don't think you're going to want to drop back and just start winging it, but we'll see.
Whittington, the running back, 5-man front, quick snap, wants to throw. Steps up, rolling left, looking, buying time, still looking, stops, throws, wide open, caught Besh. And Besh has got himself across the St. Aug 45 to the 44, but there's a flag down on the far side of the field for holding on Jesuit. So that'll negate the play, and that'll certainly put Jesuit in a run-out-the-clock mode here.
Yeah, I think you do now. And, when your quarterback starts scrambling, a lot of times that's when those linemen get caught. They got their hands inside, and when that D-line redirects, and then you get grabbing, and then that's when the officials see it.
So again, a spot foul, so this would be a significant penalty, about a 16-yard penalty. That's in fact what it is, 16 yards to the 21.
Yeah, I think if you Jesuit right here, you take a knee, a little killer clock mode, and let that clock run, and let's get in the locker room and talk about how to keep going and win this football game.
Whittington is the running back at the 21-yard line. First and 27. They'll just run the ball inside. 25, Whittington to about the 28, gains 7 yards on what should be the final play of the half. So Whittington gains 7, and that should get us to the break here. Unless Jesuit wants to hurry up and run another play. They do not, so they're going to let the clock run out here. And halftime has arrived, and it's been a really good half of football. Jesuit leading St. Augustine 17-14. And a really good first half of football here, Lon, back and forth.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. Both teams have done some things very, very well, and then both teams have had some really poor moments at the same time, So between the penalties and the snaps, overheads, and things like that. But both teams have done a good job overcoming those things, capitalizing when the other team made a mistake. But, yeah, it's a great football game.
No doubt. And coming up at halftime, we'll hear from Coach Nathaniel Jones at length. We'll also get a few comments from Mark Sanji about the first half as well. We'll have stats for you, analysis, and much more. We're glad you're with us. It's halftime here at Tad Gormley Stadium with our score, Jesuit 17, St. Augustine 14. And we're back to hear from Coach Nathaniel Jones when we continue in a moment here at CrescentCitySports.com. Your home for the best in coverage of pro, college, and prep sports in the New Orleans area is CrescentCitySports.com. Whether it's news, opinions, live video webcasts of high school sports, or Louisiana's best prep football scoreboard, you can get it all at Crescent City Sports. The name may be new, but it's the same great coverage you've gotten for years from our team of New Orleans natives. Click it now and like us on social media at CrescentCitySports.com. Halftime here, St. Augustine Jesuit, one of their Halftime here, St. Augustine Jesuit, one of their at Chad Gormley Stadium in a back-and-forth affair. Jesuit on top of St. Augustine 17-14. Ken Trahan with Lon Elzey. Jordan Liuza had a chance to catch up with Jesuit head coach Mark Sonji a short time ago. And Mark had these comments. All right, well, we'll try to get that racked up and taken care of here shortly, but I promise you we'll hear from him. Let's tell you about some stats from the first half here. And there's some interesting numbers to ponder when you look at the way this game is unfolded in terms of who's done what. First downs, Jesuit with 9, St. Augustine with 7. Rushing yards, Jesuit 40, St. Augustine 66. Passing yards, maybe the biggest surprise, Jesuit 143, St. Aug 71. So the total yards, Jesuit 183, St. Aug 137. Penalties, St. Aug has 5 for 22 yards, Jesuit 5 for 61 yards. And sacks in the game, you've had 2 by St. Augustine, 3 by Jesuit. No turnovers in the first half. Individually, for St. Augustine, Broderick Martin, 1 carry minus 3 yards. Trevon Woodson, 7 carries for 22 yards. Mahmoud Bailey is 6 carries for 19 yards. Justin Doyle only played early, 2 carries for 3 yards. And Albert Quest, 1 carry for 25 yards and a touchdown. Trevon Woodson, 9 for 10, 71 yards with a score. DeAndre Cooper, 3 catches, 26 yards. Broderick Martin, 3 catches, 21 yards. Kai Matthew, 1 catch for 11 yards. Devin Coatney, 1 catch for 8 yards. Mahmoud Bailey, 1 catch for 5 yards and a touchdown. For Jesuit, Robert McMahon with 6 carries for 9 yards. Willie Robinson, 5 carries for 15 yards and a touchdown. Brayton Whittington, 5 carries for 16 yards. Robert McMahon, 7 of 10, 143 yards and a touchdown passing. Noah Varnado, 3 catches for 78 yards. Luke Best, 2 catches for 20 yards. Luke LaForge, 1 catch for 19 yards and a touchdown. And Will Moran, 1 catch for 16 yards. It adds up to Jesuit 17, St. Augustine 14. Lon, we expected this to be a very good football game and a very tight football game. That's exactly what we've seen to this point.
Yeah, that passing stat for St. Aug's is very interesting, but what that kind of tells me is exactly what we've seen is that Jesuit's not letting him get that big play. He's got 9 completions for 71 yards. Yeah, he's 9 for 10, but, 9 for 71. I mean, that just – you're keeping them in front of you and not letting them get that explosive play.
When you look at what both teams have done running the ball, it's been negligible. Neither team's really been able to run the ball very much. You had the one running play for St. Aug that resulted in a touchdown, and you had the one running play for Jesuit that resulted in a touchdown. Not much because these defensive fronts are both very good.
Yeah, and I heard a lot about Jesuit's defensive front coming in and seeing them play earlier this year, but St. Aug's defensive front's doing a heck of a job too. I mean, they're getting up the field, a lot of penetration, and neither team has really done much to talk about with the running game.
And then, of course, the passing game I alluded to. Trevon Woodson's only had 1 pass hit the ground, but Jesuits kept him underneath. It's 9 completions, 71 yards. They haven't given up a big play.
No, that's and that's what you got to do against guys like this, especially a spread team that got big receivers all over the field. Don't let them get you deep. And it's what's interesting is Jesuits hit the deep ball a couple of times. So. As far as the defensive staff, I'm saying Coach Baglio and those guys are very happy about where they are. But St. Aug's got to be happy too because, they're right there. And they know Jesuit's going to come in and play hard. And they're right in the ball game. And they're here ready to win. And hopefully they can do that.
Whereas Jesuit has made big plays in the passing game, as mentioned, with 7 completions for 143 yards. So kind of a flip script, if you will, from what we might have expected. But the end result is pretty much the same. A very tight game that can go either way here in the second half as Jesuit and St. Aug get set to start the second half of this football game. And good crowd here tonight. You'll hear them momentarily. We saw both bands perform at halftime, doing a great job. And now ready to roll in the second half, and we'll see what happens here right away. Jesuit will get the ball first to start the second half. And again, Jesuit's gotten pretty good field position off of these kickoffs. Both teams really have in the game so far. The kicking game, as we've alluded to several times, has played a large role in this football game.
Yeah, and it always does. I mean, special teams are huge, and that's why most teams you're going to see are going to have a lot of starters on special teams because you don't want to lose that facet of the game because it truly is 1/3 of the game. I mean, a lot of people don't realize that, but it really is.
As we get set to start the third quarter of this one, teams will take to the field. Jesuit will get the ball first, and they'll drop their receiving team onto the field and have Moran back in the deep position to get things started. And the Purple Knights will emerge with their kicking team and be ready to get this second half underway. Next week, by the way, St. Augustine has their rivalry game, Brother Martin, next Saturday night here at Tad Gormley Stadium, in a game that we'll have live on WGSO 990 AM and at WGSO.com. Jesuit has its big rivalry game against Holy Cross next Friday night here at Tad Gormley Stadium, live at CrescentCitySports.com and Cox Sports Television as well. So we're just about set to start the third quarter of play, and Crescent City Sports Prep Football is brought to you by Riverlands Insurance in Luling. Meeting all of your insurance needs. Call Riverlands at 1-800-336-4579 or go to Rivens.com. Thanks to Riverlands Insurance, Nolan, Luke, Donna DiCarlo, the entire company, we appreciate you. Devin Coatney will kick it off. Jesuit with Besh and Moran back to receive. Besh to the right, Moran to the left. Coatney will take about a 9-yard approach here. And the second half of this Catholic League opener is underway. Down the middle, squibbed. Got to get on the ball, and it goes loose and finally covered. Dangerous, as St. Aug might have it. St. Aug might have it, and they do. St. Augustine recovers the opening kickoff on a squib that was going toward the sideline. Jesuit did not get on it. St. Augustine has already been signaled to have the ball. Now the officials are talking. It is St. Aug ball, as they've signaled it again. Wrestling at the bottom of the pile, but the Purple Knights have it, and a big recovery for St. Augustine by number 6, Kenneth Rivard. What a start to the half by St. Aug.
Special teams.
Well, the kicking game is deciding this game.
That's it. And that was like a knuckleball. You saw it kind of came off the side of his foot. He's a straight-on kicker, and then it just kind of kept, twirling like a top towards the sideline, and the Jesuit kids just didn't get on it. And the St. Aug kid just jumped right on that ball, right on the sideline.
You can never assume that the ball is going to go out of bounds.
No.
First and 10 at the Jesuit 21. Mook Bailey is the running back. And he'll get it, and he gets hit immediately and blown up. And right there was Hazard that messed the play up big time. And then he's finished off by Gansey and Owen Melville at defensive front. Really tough.
Yeah, they're stout up front. They're just big, strong, and physical up front on defense.
Loss of 3 to the 24. It's second down and 13. Big chance for the Purple Knights to get back on top here, but now they're behind the chains. 4 receivers set. Second and 13. Snap it. Wants to throw it. Pressure. Throws outside. Man there caught. Flag down to the 20. A nice tackle driven out of bounds at about the 18. But again, a flag down on the play. The completion of Martin. Again, Jesuit able to keep him to a short game, but it's got to be a hold on St. Aug. That will be the call, and it will be a spot foul. And where the flag is, it's really going to hurt.
Yeah, it's going to back them up to about the 38-yard line, and the line to gain is the 11. So it's going to – we talk about behind the chains. We are way behind the chains now for St. Aug.
Put the ball down at the 37, so it's 13-yard infraction. From the spot of the foul, 6th penalty, 35 yards on the Purple Knights. Put it down at the 37 where it's second and 26 yards to go. Woodson, the snap, looks to throw a screen. Does. It's batted down. Read beautifully by Gansey, and he knocked it down. As they were trying to find Quest, the little man who had the touchdown in the first half, but Gansey read it beautifully.
He almost picked that off.
So Gansey makes the play. Woodson's pass falls incomplete, and it's now third down as a result. And that 27 yards to go.
Yeah, you see Jesuit came in with either a nickel or a dime package here. They got a lot of DBs on the field in this long yardage situation. Probably just going to rush 3 and drop back 8 in coverage. And it looks like they might send somebody off the edge.
Quick snap, wants to throw. He's in heavy trouble, got it off. Bailey caught it. Bailey makes one move, but good pursuit from the backside by Perry Gansey again to tackle him at the 35, just a gain of 2.
Yeah,
Gansey's a special player.
Yeah, that was what Jesuit coaches said this week, that his motor does not shut down at any time in the game. He is just playing hard from whistle to whistle, from the opening gun to the last,
and
last
Bailey
second drops off.
Shaken up on the hit by Gansey, so he's on 2 knees watching right now, trying to rise. So that stops play with 10:49 to play in the third. 17-14 Blue Jays lead, and now St. Augustine on 4th down. I mean, you've got 4th and 24. I think you just have to take a shot down the field here. You could take a penalty and punt it if you wanted to. Certainly no field goal.
No, field goal's not an option.
No.
You know, do you punt and try to pin him back, but then it can end up being a 15-yard punt if it goes in the end zone. You know, the one thing, though, if you do get a pass interference, it's not an automatic first down in high school football. So you would get 15 yards and make it a little more manageable. And maybe a field goal comes into play. So that might be your best option. Just let one of those 6'3" receivers go down there, throw it up to him, and have a 50-50 ball and see if you can come down with it.
4th down and 24 from the 35. They will go for it.
Down here.
Twin receivers to either side. Quest in the backfield. I got to believe Doyle's hurt. He hadn't been in the game since early. Rolling left. Under pressure. He's grabbed and sacked at the 42-yard line. It's Perry Gansey. Yet again, the 4th sack by Jesuit, and Gansey just wrecked that possession for St. Aug.
Yeah, he was definitely the MVP of that defensive stand right there.
Loss of 7 yards. So Gansey just takes it away, and Jesuit ends up with good field position. Boy, did they come out of that good.
Yeah, St. Aug's got possession on the 20, and then now Jesuit's got it on the 40, on their own 42.
That's why I think I would have thought about punting the ball, taking a penalty and punting, playing field position. Instead, Jesuit gets really good field position here. On 1st down, good hole. Whittington 50. 1st down, Whittington to the St. Aug 45. Breaks a big hole on the right side, does that offensive line, and 13 yards and a 1st down here.
Yeah, great job by McMahon and Moats on that right side, opening that up for him.
To the St. Aug 45. So Whittington gets his best run of the game. And the Blue Jays get their 10th first down of the game. At the St. Augustine 45. Running inside left. Whittington, this time short gain, maybe a yard or two. Riding him hard and putting him down is Vincent Joseph, the junior, at 250 pounds.
Yeah, good job by Joseph. Much better by the D-line right there. Held their ground, didn't get it pushed back a lot by the Jesuit line, and minimal gain.
1 yard, 2nd and 9 at the Purple Knights 44. 9:40 to play third quarter and counting. And a 17-14 Jesuit lead. Rolling left, just a straight keeper, cuts back, and they're all over it. Great penetration and an outstanding play for St. Augustine. And there's that man yet again. Vincent Joseph in the backfield wraps him up. Boy, no backside blocking there, just really good pursuit by St. Augustine.
No, they're getting a little stout right there. You know, that first play was successful, but that quarterback run, and Coach Bain's father runs that a little bit. He's not the best runner in the world, a quarterback, but he's, keep him honest. Just gives you one extra blocker when you run it.
Well, when you had a bunch of guys named Joseph and Carey and people of that nature, that was a really good-looking play.
Yeah.
3rd and 11, McMahon wants to throw it. Steps up. Pressure, he's sacked. Great pressure, and St. Augustine gets him. That's number 9, Christopher Confident. Nails him at the 50. 3rd sack for the Purple Knights, and a stop for St. Aug.
Great defensive stand by St. Aug right there. The offense didn't get it done after the special teams fumble over there or recovery, and they met the challenge right there. Make Jesuit punt, get the ball back.
So punting situation, single safety deep. Shirk to punt it away. Josh White is deep, low snap, heavy pressure, got it off. 20 and out of bounds. So at about the 18-yard line, that's where St. Augustine will put it in play. Well, these kicks are an adventure, I'll tell you, with 8:11 to play in the third quarter. I mean, we've seen a lot of bad snaps in this game on both sides, haven't we?
Yeah. The Jesuit coach is a little upset there, the way that that St. Aug defender came and tried to jump over the wall there for the punter to protect the punter. You cannot do that. You cannot jump over that personal protector back there over the top. It's just kind of the same principle on a it's kind of like the leverage penalty you see in other levels of football.
So at the 19-yard line, St. Augustine starts this possession, second of the half. Went the wrong way on the first possession. Haven't been able to run it. And again, they haven't had the freshman Doyle in there since early in the game. He must be hurt. On 1st and 10, rolling left, looking. Woodson steps up. He's going to be hit and stopped. Great defense on the exterior. Just really good contain to hold his ground and box him in and then put him down by Owen Melville. Outstanding job by Melville, the senior at 271 pounds.
Yeah, he's a little banged up right now. He's got a little bit issue he's dealing with, but I tell you what, he's playing real hard tonight.
It's no gain, and it's 2nd and 10 at the 19. St. Aug running people on and off the field here at the last second.
They do have 11, though, so
there you go.
Good.
Snap it. Woodson looking, pressured, steps up, runs, felt the heat, and he wisely just raced forward and got about 4. If he sits there, he's going to get sacked.
Yeah. You know, I'm waiting for Aug to kind of open this up a little bit and start throwing it a little bit more. And
surprised they haven't taken more shots down the field.
No, you're right. I mean, Jesuit's in a 2-safety look, and that's you know, they're going to play like that. But, you know, let your athlete go get the football. I mean, sometimes you just got to let it rip, you know.
3rd and 6 from the 23. Motion right. Woodson looking, pressure, throws, caught, but this will be well short of the first down. Good pursuit defensively to stop Kai Matthew. Very short of the first down, and St. Aug's going to have to punt. Gain of 3.
Tell you what you're seeing is 2 well-coached, sound football teams out here. It's like almost like a chess match, you know. St. Aug's trying to do some things, and Jesuit's doing a good job, you know, not letting them execute the way they want, and vice versa. I mean, it's just 2 well-coached football teams.
So it's 4th down. Punt formation. Mims. St. Aug's moving all over the place. They got to throw the flag. They do. The kick is going to be to the side. It's not going anywhere. And St. Aug will kill it at the Jesuit 48. Now, if you're Jesuit, you might take the ball where it's at, even though St. Aug committed the penalty.
If it's not a dead ball penalty,
sure.
I would look at declining that. And I mean, you're getting it at your own 48-yard line. You know, special teams, something, you know, those are the. You always see bad things happen on special teams. Ball accidentally hits your guy, and it's a fumble, or, you know, just something. Yeah, it's almost like, hey, let's take it right here and let's go.
Right now, the officials are keeping it at the Jesuit 48, so it looks like they can decline it and take the ball in great field position with 5:57 to play in the 3rd. It should be the hydration break, right? Just saying.
Yeah, if to stay consistent in what they've done tonight, I mean, it should
supposed to be at the 6-minute mark of each quarter.
Now, whether the officials see that or not, I don't know.
Obviously didn't catch it. Apparently they're going to let him play.
This is the perfect time to do it.
Sure.
It's a change of possession. This is when you should be doing it.
Not to disrupt a possession. Exactly. 1st and 10 of the 48. Here is a fake. Wants to go deep. McMahon. Stop and go. Jump ball coming and tipped and incomplete. Intended for Varnado, and a good job defensively for the Purple Knights by Damon McFarland. Made a good play to stay with him and got a piece of it. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, I thought McMahon held on to that ball a little bit longer than he should have and allowed the safety to come over the top and make a play on the football. Probably should have let it go a little bit sooner.
Sometimes you just have to throw to a spot, try to throw a receiver open, right?
And the longer you wait, the more you give it, especially when you're staring that guy down.
2nd and 10 at the 48. Besh across the formation motions. Rolling that way, McMahon. Throwing in the flat, caught. And Besh broke 1 tackle. It's hit hard as he goes out of bounds near midfield. Short gain of about 2.
They've run that play a few times now, trying to get Besh the ball in a little bit of space, and he's a little slippery. I mean, he got a first down earlier on a nice tackle that he broke. But now, again, you're in long yardage for Jesuit, 3rd and, about 8 yards to go. They ran a little tunnel screen earlier in the game. They had a little something. Maybe they might come back to that. It's a safe play. We'll see.
3rd and 8 at midfield as the Purple Knight Band blares loudly here. Here is McMahon stepping up, throwing. It is caught, but he's short. Varnado had to come back for it. He's short by about 2 yards.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to punt. In the back of your mind as a head coach, thinking, do I think about it?
It's
fourth and
1, yeah.
It's not the bet. You're not way down in there, but you're certainly on plus side of the field. But the way your defense is playing, great move by Coach Sanji. Just try to get him down as deep as you can.
If you can execute the snap. That's
St.
been a
Aug
problem.
doesn't even have a returner back here.
It's
they
been
don't
a
even
problem.
Have a guy
it's
on
been
the
a
field.
problem executing the snap all day. But there's a good pass from center, and there's the punt. Nobody back, as Lon mentioned. Watch the bounce. Sideways bounce doesn't really help Jesuit. And will be killed at about the 17. So St. Aug will start there with 4:15 to play in the 3rd. And still 17-14 Blue Jays on top.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if they were short a man, they just didn't have a returner, or if they had 11 on the line. They did go after it, sent somebody hard off the edge, but the punter did a good job getting it away. But like I said, their defense is playing great. St. Aug really hasn't gone the length of the field yet tonight. Everything they've gotten has been on a short field. So pinning them back is absolutely the right move in this situation, in this part of the game. And now they do the heat and humidity time.
Yeah, they do it now on this change of possession, which is interesting. With 4:15 left,
yeah,
it's supposed to happen around 6 minutes, and they had a perfect spot to do it.
They did.
I think they just forgot.
I think it's just officials not seeing the clock and really knowing what's going on in the game. And I hate talking bad about them, but sometimes it just.
All right, so I can tell you right now, Justin Doyle is sitting on the bench, and he's got a wrap on his left leg. So that's why we haven't seen him. That's a big loss for St. Aug. I mean, he played early in the game. He's easily their best running back. Great talent. Wanted you to see him, freshman who can really go. But he got hurt early in this game.
2 carries, huh?
Yeah, I mean, he got hurt early.
Did we see him go off? I don't remember.
2 carries for 3 yards. He had to get hurt on the second carry, I would imagine. We haven't seen him since, but he's sitting over there on the bench, left leg wrapped, and that's really a shame to not have him in this game. As mentioned, they're already missing a couple of guys that did not play in this game that were injured, including Tremaine Brown, their defensive back, out with a bicep injury, and Shamal McKnight, their senior wide receiver, out with a knee injury. And now Doyle. So that's 3 pieces out of there for St. Aug. 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line. Purple Knights operate, trailing by 3 here late in the 3rd quarter. Woodson slotting an offensive lineman in the backfield. It's an interesting formation, like a fullback. Lined up, slotted left. That is future Lee. Interesting formation, power football. Run behind him, it works. How about that wrinkle? Across the 20 and out to the 24 line. The big man in a slot and let him pound. And Quest gets 7 or 8 yards.
Yeah, I mean, it gets you another offensive lineman on the field.
7 for Quest at 2nd and 3. Same formation. Run behind him again, but this time Jesuit's all over and they stop him cold. Quest maybe got a yard before he was knocked out by Sonny Hazard, who's played quite a game. Gain of 1, so here's a big 3rd down and 2. Quest remains the running back. On 3rd and 2 from the 25. Woodson. The snap. He'll keep it. Good read. 1st down and more. 30, 35, and 40. And I got to expect Woodson's going to try to run the ball more, especially with the injury to Doyle. I mean, they've got to have a running threat, and Woodson is that.
Well, we've seen him run a couple times scramble. That's the first time they've run really a zone read where he's pulled it. And Jesuit was not there. They had nobody to account for him, and it turns out to be a big play. Let's see if they come back to it.
15 yards and a 1st down to the 40. Purple Knights get their first down of the half, make it the 41. 16 yards. Woodson gives it to Quest. No, he kept it. Now he rolls right, and he's going to go out of bounds for a couple of yards. Looked like he had given it off initially, but he didn't.
Yeah, it looked like one of those RPOs, run
Yeah.
pass option, and he pulled it. He was looking to throw the ball downfield. Nobody was open, so he just tucked it and got what he
Picked
could.
up a couple. 2nd and 8. 2nd down and 8. At the 43-yard line. Rolls left, stops under pressure. Nice move. Another nice move. Tackled at the 49. Woodson made a couple of sweet moves to get 6 yards there.
Yeah, that was Gansey. Almost had him in the backfield again. They're really having a hard time blocking him for Jesuit. He's really caused a lot of havoc in the second half.
Oh, he said Woodson would probably run it more. He's now run it 3 straight times.
Yeah, I mean, he's your best weapon,
Yes.
looks like right now on the field running the football.
Here's a big 3rd down. 2 yards to go from the 49. Going to run Quest inside. He'll get the 1st down and more. Straight ahead power run across the Jesuit 45. 1st down, St. Augustine. Quest picking up the slack.
Looks like St. Aug's found a little something here. Running the football, a little zone read, some RPO stuff.
1st down on the gain of 6 yards on this play to the Jesuit 45. As we approach 2 minutes to play in the 3rd. Motion right. Woodson is going to throw deep, but the receiver stopped. So a total miscommunication as the receiver on the play, who was Kai Matthews, stopped and Woodson aired it out. So it falls incomplete. It's 2nd and 10 with 1:52 to play in the 3rd. They have not really looked for Coatney, the tall receiver, the 6'3 receiver.
Yeah, I mean,
they've thrown a ball one time in this game.
If I have a 6'3 receiver, I'm going to give him a jump ball at least 2-3 times a game. Throw it up to him.
He split wide right. 2nd and 10 at the Blue Jay 45. Here's Woodson giving to Quest. Quest makes a move to the outside. Another move to the outside. Look at the white shirts. He still somehow found 3, despite great pursuit by Jesuit. Really good job on the pursuit. Mark Doherty made the tackle.
Jesuit's got somebody hurt, number 7.
Now he's played a really good game for the Blue Jays, Ethan Kerrigan. So he's down. Quest has provided a spark for St. Aug. 5 carries, 42 yards, and a touchdown. Kerrigan does get to his feet. Holding his hand or wrist, it appears. Would appear to be maybe a right wrist, or let's see, it's hard to tell. Yeah, he keeps grabbing at that right wrist. So, don't think it's a leg problem, which is good news, but you hope it's nothing serious as he makes his way toward the sideline. And they'll take a seat and they'll tend to him. Blue Jays will have to substitute here. It's 3rd down and 7. Purple Knights at the Jesuit 42-yard line. Hope you enjoyed the webcast last night from Joe Yenny Stadium. Very entertaining game as Archbishop Rummel outscored Turlings Catholic 42-31. Lenny Van Gilder and Phil Greco had that one for you here at CrescentCitySports.com. Leading into our contest here tonight, which has been a good one as well. So continuing to tend to the hand and wrist of Kerrigan, Blue Jay training staff. Again, St. Aug's had an attrition game with losses to injury throughout.
So did somebody call a timeout also just now? Because
no, they're looking at the scoreboard. At least that does not reflect a timeout at all. Oh, I see what's wrong. Scoreboard's messed up with clock malfunction.
Gotcha.
So that's going to slow
I
things
was
down.
wondering because the injured player's been off the field. I don't know why we.
There we go. They just fixed it. So we did have the clock problem. The referee's trying to signal to change it again. They put 1:23 on it. I think he wants something else based on the fact that he keeps signaling to the press box PA booth. And there you go. They've changed it to 1:35. So put 12 more seconds on the clock. So I think we're ready to go now. And we'll have a big 3rd down and 7 yards to go. And again, the way St. Aug's played it, this is certainly the potential to be 4-down territory.
you're getting down to that point in the game that it just might be, especially where on the field you are as well. Again, you punt, field goal is not an option.
3rd and 7 at the 42. Bailey motions left. Woodson retreats. Heavy rush. Steps up. Woodson is down at the line of scrimmage. And it's Perry Gansey who got him right at the line of scrimmage. No gain.
And it doesn't look like there's any type of punt team or anything on the St. Aug sideline getting ready to come in.
Well, they did it earlier in this half and gave up field position, so I would suspect they'll do it again.
Yeah.
They look over to the sideline. Nathaniel Jones communicating with him. Play clock's going to run down. St. Aug might just take a timeout here.
I don't know if I'd waste your time out.
Yeah,
I'd rather take the delay game penalty.
Looks like they're going to take timeout. Unless they take the delay and give themselves punting room.
Yeah, I don't think you waste your time out. Now he's going to punt.
No, he took the delay of game.
Yeah.
He took the delay of game, so a 5-yard penalty on St. Aug.
And I do not think you can decline that because it's a dead ball penalty.
I think this is a wise move by St. Aug in this situation.
You wouldn't waste your you keep your timeouts going into the fourth quarter. The 5 yards doesn't hurt you there.
No, and try to pin them back instead of giving them really good field position here. Mims to punt. Moran stands deep at about his 15. Quick snap. Mims end over end kick. Could be very effective. Bounces at the 10, bounces at the 5. It's caught, and he is going to be into the end zone. Touchback. He couldn't quite keep it in the field to play. Boy, that was a good-looking punt by Mims.
It looked like he grabbed it about the 3 and ran into the end zone inside the pylon.
It was close.
Just couldn't control it. Touchback.
Wow. That is a huge break for Jesuit right there.
So a touchback gives Jesuit the ball at the 20 with 30 seconds to play in the third quarter. A scoreless third quarter. A defensive battle to be sure. Jesuit still up 17-14 as the fourth quarter is beckoning.
That's a tough break for St. Aug right there because, I mean, if they could have pinned him inside the 5.
1st and 10 from the 20. Whittington running right. He is belted and driven straight back. And there's that man again. What a game Vincent Joseph has had, the junior. He has just played marvelously for St. Aug.
Yeah, he's impacting the game about the same way Gansey is for Jesuit.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's really been unblockable, and they're having a hard time controlling him on the line of scrimmage tonight.
2nd and 12 at the 18.
End of the third.
So the third quarter comes to a close. We're through 3 at Ted Gormley with our score. Jesuit 17, St. Augustine 14. Back with our fourth quarter in a moment here at CrescentCitySports.com.
Yeah,
Fourth quarter begins, and there's another sack back at about the 8-yard line. McMahon goes down, and he is writhing in pain, and that does not look good.
Yeah, that's not good for
McMahon sacked, and he's down, and he is not getting up. Not a good development at all. Great pressure by the Purple Knights defensive front. These defensive fronts are dominating here for both teams. But now you got a critical injury here.
Yeah, the way they're working on him, Ken, it just looks like a cramp. They're kind of holding his leg up, pushing his foot back, kind of that cramp stretch that you do on the leg.
Hope that's all it is.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. He's up.
Good news.
Oh, but see, that's
It's
not
not
McMahon,
him.
though. That's 33.
33.
Mm-hmm.
When Shibler, the injured player. So Shibler leaves under his own power. So the Blue Jays now operating from their own 11, 2nd and 19. Heavy pressure again. He somehow escapes. 15. Broke a tackle. 20. Broke another tackle. He's still going and still going. Robert McMahon. Huge run all the way to the 38. 27 yards and a first down, and another player down. This time a St. Aug player. 2 of them are down. My goodness gracious. On the same play. Wow.
That was, yeah, I don't know how he got out of that. He broke about 2 or 3 tackles there. That was an impressive play by that young man.
Amazing. And what a great run. This is the best run we've seen of the game.
I mean, he was sacked on the 1-2 yard line right there and just was able, almost like, trying to grab like a fish when you catch it in your boat. Just can't grab a hold of it, slipping out of everything.
28 yards officially to the 39-yard line, and a first down for Jesuit, and a big first down to get out of the hole there as much as anything else. On a brilliant effort by McMahon. Boy, a lot of injuries in this game, Lon.
Yeah, this kind of game, you're going to see that, a hard-fought Catholic League physical football game. And it's a shame it's happened in week 4, in the first week of district, but that's where your depth comes into play, and then your next man up. Your young players need to step up, and then you start putting freshmen and sophomores on the field. So, you hope it's nothing serious. You hope that neither of these young men are hurt too bad. Just maybe some little bump or bruise or something. But yeah, it's just another night in Tag Gorman Stadium, Catholic League football.
Boy, still down, still waiting. Louisiana Tech within 3 of LSU.
Wow.
24-21.
Maybe Lou
in the
Holtz
fourth
was
quarter.
Right.
Tech has a real shot here in that football game. I knew they were good coming in. It's the consummate trap game. If there ever was one. So still tending to one of the players. The second got up. Training staff out there on both sides. And again, I cannot spot the number, so I can't tell you specifically who it is. And the fact that it takes this long is that's concerning.
Yeah, it's very concerning. You hope it's nothing head or neck injury or anything like that. Oh, and they are, yeah.
Yeah, they're bringing the stretcher across the field.
You hate to see that. But it's almost like the way the 2 players for St. Aug were laying there, almost like they ran into each other. And that's where a lot of those injuries happen, where 2 guys going to make a play and just, just kind of a freak thing.
Certainly a concern. So they'll continue to tend to them. Again, just to run down the schedule. St. Augustine next week, Brother Martin Saturday night, a week from tonight. On WGSO 990 AM here from Ted Gormley Stadium. Then they go to Archbishop Shaw in their new stadium on October 5th. Then they play John Curtis here, do the Purple Lights on October 13th at Ted Gormley before meeting Thibodeau on October 19th in a non-district game. Then they close out the season against Holy Cross here on the 25th of October, then against Rummel in a game on WGSO. Both of those games, the Holy Cross game and Rummel game, are on WGSO. Rummel game is on November 3rd here at Gormley. The Blue Jays will move on from here to play their Great American Rivalry Series game with Holy Cross next Friday night, which you can watch live at CrescentCitySports.com and at Cox Sports Television. Then October 5th, they take on John Curtis Christian. On the 13th, Jesuit takes on Rummel at Joe Yenny, the game you can hear on WGSO 990 AM. October 19th against Shaw. October 26th against Destrehan, and then Brother Martin on November the 2nd. The schedules remaining for both teams this year. And we want to tell you that Crescent City Sports Prep Football is brought to you by Lamarck Ford in Kenner, the only local dealership in the New Orleans area where you can totally buy online. Go to Lamarck.com. Thanks to my friend Ronnie Lamarck. Prayers to his wife, Natasha. And look forward to having young Ronnie join us for broadcast coming up of a Newman game, which we look forward to. Newman Country Day, that'll be quite a game. Country Day is a really good football
Country
team.
Day beat St. Charles Catholic yesterday. Now the young man, I don't think it's a neck injury, King, because he sat up and he's sitting up in the thing. It might have been a lower leg or something. It looked like number 90, either 98 or 99. I think it's 99 because there's 98
still out there. 98's been their best player, and he's still on the field. So it's 99. Who is the player down, and that's Samaj Davis, their junior defensive tackle.
Yeah.
And nice to see both sides going to him, what you would expect from these two institutions.
But, at least it's not a head or neck injury. That's the one that you just really hate to see. And it was good to see him sit up. And I couldn't see if they put any type of air cast or something on a lower leg or something like that. But that's what you would assume if they have him on a stretcher, maybe a bad break. Or I don't want to, assume that it is anything or give any type of bad information. But just good for that young man that he's up and was able to shake the hands of those other players, his teammates, and the Jesuit players.
LSU scores with, 8:06 to play to take a 31-21 lead on Louisiana Tech, so they answer. Nick Brissett has 3 touchdowns rushing. Clyde Edwards-Helaire has a touchdown rushing. So it's been about the running game. Burrow's thrown it pretty well. But Jamar Smith's had a big game for Tech. He's thrown for 298 yards, 3 touchdowns, and counting. He's real good. So the injury really slows things down here. Good to see Israel Tucker, former Rummel star, doing a nice job for Tech in that game. Got 2 catches for 20 yards, 9 rushes, 22 yards. Tucker was one of those players at Rummel. If he would ever have stayed healthy the whole time, he would have been a major difference maker. Such a good young man. And that's why Tech signed him, because they saw the ability despite the injuries that he had. I remember him playing in the state championship game when Rummel lost to Catholic when they were favored heavily. Tucker was playing on one leg, really hurt them that night. Good player. But we always love to see our area players stay in state and play at these schools. Every one of them. And they all have those kind of players.
Oh, it's great when kids stay in the state because it allows fans to go see them play at the next level, and kind of like Tulane. The more fans the more players from the local area that Tulane can get, it's great for the community, because the casual fan will go see him play, just used to seeing those kids play in high school.
So Samaj Davis leaves injured. They have to sub for him. Jesuit plays first and 10 at their own 39. Clock begins to tick. Just under 12 minutes to play in the game. 17-14 Blue Jays. Running right with room. Robinson, he didn't really hit that hard, but he fights forward and gets to the 46. Boy, there was a hole there. It was kind of a read instead of a just hit it type of deal.
Jesuit got a good push right there, and he didn't look quite as explosive as he did earlier in the game when his first couple carries he had, because there was a nice seam there.
Yeah, he got 6 yards. 2nd and 4 at the 45-yard line. Jesuit operates here. Just keeping it. McMahon cuts upfield. First down and more. He's across the St. Aug 45. He's down to the 42. First down Blue Jays and a gain of 13.
Yeah, the Jesuit offensive line starting to kind of take control up front. That's the best 2 back-to-back running plays they've had this evening. Hopefully the loss of Samaj Davis.
Yeah, that certainly hurt.
Yeah.
I was going to bring that up, and you did. I mean, very clearly that's a big loss for St. Aug in the interior. On first down and 10. Give it to Robinson. This time short yardage to about the 40. So he gains 2, and again, good penetration once again by Vincent Joseph.
And he looked like he was tiptoeing in there again, like the last time he carried the football. Just real tentative going in there.
Second down and 8. And just a point of clarification, when you have what you call zone runs, read and react is good. But when you have the more direct stuff, you got to hit it.
Yeah, you got to hit it going downhill 100 miles an hour.
On second down and 8, McMahon keeps running left, tackled after a gain of about 2 yards on the play. And a good job by St. Augustine. Taiwan Berryhill.
We got a flag down. I think it's going to be offsides against St. Aug. I think they might have lined up in the neutral zone.
That'll hurt the Purple Knights. 5 yards.
Now you got a 2nd and 3. So if you're Jesuit here, do you take a shot? 2nd and 3, 35-yard line. Do you take a shot, maybe throw one deep?
Well, you could.
Or you just keep grinding
or
it
you
like you do.
You like the ball
only
control.
9 minutes left in the game. You're
Shorten
up 3.
the game, yeah. Yeah, there's 2 trends of thought there. Don't give them at-bats or... And there's a flag. The snap came back on the ground, and that's a false start procedure penalty on Jesuit. Just so much for that. Give it right back.
Man.
So it's 2nd and 8 all over again.
Like I said, we've seen some really great things, and then we just seen some just things that make you shake your head, like, wow.
6 penalties, 66 yards on Jesuit. Second and 8 from the 40. Straight run to the right, short side of the field, nothing there. Drilled hard. McMahon fights for about a yard or 2. He was stuck pretty good right there. Good play. Coming up from the secondary for the Purple Knights was 23. Edward Gills, the 3rd.
Big play for the St. Aug defense right here. Because if you allow Jesuit to get a first down here, we're down to about 8 minutes in the 4th quarter. They're probably going to run another 3 minutes minimum off the clock, So it's getting crunch time right here.
It's a 2-yard gain, defense. And now it's 3rd and 6 from the 38. McMahon wants to throw it. Steps up, throws, diving effort, and he caught it, I believe. I believe he caught it. Varnado at about the 30, and that's a first down for Jesuit. Wow. What a job by Varnado to go down and get it.
Boy, he scooped that up off the turf right there, man. That was good throw and catch.
8 yards and a first down. Noah Varnado's 5th catch of the game for 93 yards. As good as advertised. Snap it. Run it right. Bounce it. Nice run. Robinson runs through a tackle. He's at the 20. He's down to the 16-yard line. And another first down for the Blue Jays. He sure hit that one going downhill.
He did. That's what you like to see on that kind of right off tackle zone play right there. Just hat on a hat and just hit it. And that right side of that line's doing a good job for Jesuit.
13 yards. Robinson and a first down. Jesuits in the red zone at the St. Aug 17. Purple Knights know they have to get a stop here. At least force a field goal attempt, if nothing else. Blue Jays have other ideas. Zone play inside on a delay and not much. Maybe a yard. But the clock will continue to run. Whittington on the carry. Ticking under 7 minutes
here. St. Aug player down.
And that will stop the clock. Boy, they've had just a terrible game in that regard. Purple Knights players going down everywhere. So that stops things with 7:05 to play. sans the injuries, this game had moved pretty well. But you can't take that away. It's been a big part of it. So they'll deal with yet another injury here.
Jordan just showed me a score, Ken. Army has taken Oklahoma to overtime.
Crazy. You better be ready to play at any level, any time, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you just don't
see it all the time.
You just don't know.
Yeah, Oklahoma missed the game-winning field goal with 2 seconds left to bring it to overtime.
Crazy. So another delay for injury here.
Number 9.
They're going to help him up now. It's Chris Confident. Boy, he's a captain, really good football player for St. Aug. Came in tied for the team lead with 4 sacks, and he's not able to put any weight. And this is turning into a nightmare game for Coach Nathaniel Jones and the Purple Knight staff with all the players that have gone down.
Oh, I know, and they get the big rivalry game next week. And yeah, I mean, again, you're going to have a short turnaround, too. You're playing on a Saturday night, so.
Well, they play Saturday next week,
they play
too,
Saturday again?
Yes.
So.
In a game we'll have here on WGSO Radio on 990 AM. Chad LaRose and Lenny Sumich will join us for that one. 2nd and 9 from the 16 as play is set to resume. 7:05 to play. Blue Jays up by 3. Wide side, left side of the field. And just a short side run. Cut back, good block, but a flag for holding will set them back as he dives inside the 10 to the 9.
I tell you what, Jesuits line up in 2 tights, and they're just saying, we're going to come at you and stop us. And unfortunately, they're going to get a holding penalty there. But, yeah, they're saying, we're going to go out and win this football game.
This will stop their ability to just run it. Spot foul, it's a 2-yard gain, and then a 10-yard penalty. So 2 yards for McMahon. And then the penalty puts it back at the 24. We're at 2nd down and 17. And that is penalty number 7 on Jesuit for 76 yards. Motion left. McMahon rolls that way. Going to stop, throw deep corner, and missed out of the reach of the intended receiver as he tried to get it to Will Moran. Close coverage was pretty good despite a good throw. Taj Adams, the safety, on the coverage.
Yeah, just a corner out, that corner of the end zone, just out of his reach.
So now it's 3rd down from the 24 and 16 yards to go.
Now you got to be thinking, don't do anything to get you out of field goal range, because they're kind of right on the edge with him, at the 24-yard line. So if they get nothing here, you're looking at a 41-yard field goal.
Wide side, left side, and now the whistles blow, and I think we'll get a timeout, Jesuit. We do. His play clock was just about expired. Jesuit calls timeout, 6:24 to play, 17-14 Blue Jays. All right, so an interesting comment, because right now it'd be about a 41-yarder. We know Shurik has the leg, but that's certainly no gimme. That's a tough one.
It is.
And yet a field goal only puts you up by 6. So obviously Jesuit knows that it's going to be tough to overcome 3rd down from where they're at right now, the 24, 3rd and 17. But you're thinking about a 1st down play. You tried the deep out a moment ago. Might you go to the poster? Who knows?
I think you think long and hard of getting him out of the – don't let him stand back there and possibly get sacked.
Yeah.
And now you're kicking a 47, 48-yard field goal instead of 42. Something similar, sprint out like they just did. Maybe a different route combination, not the same thing you just did. But standing there in the pocket, St. Aug's gotten a lot of pressure on him tonight at times when he just stands back there. And I think that's probably your best bet. And you tell your quarterback, nothing's there, either run or throw it over somebody's head out of bounds, and let's, kick that 42-yard field goal.
3rd and 17. McMahon the snap. Pump fakes. He is going to go deep. Turning around, can't get it. Flag down. That's going to be a first down. What a huge play.
Okay, they're not going to get it.
That's a huge play. Well, it's 15. It would be 2 yards to go for the first down.
It actually would only be half the distance, I believe.
Because of where they're at.
Yeah.
So the pass was intended for Moran.
It would be down to the 12. So
if you're the 24, you're looking at the 12-yard line at about 3rd and 5.
Yeah.
But a good call there. I mean, you get isolation, the possibility of a completion or pass interference, and you get the pass interference on St. Aug. So they'll mark it off half the distance, and they got it wrong. Should be the 12. There you go. Now they're going to fix it. That would be half the distance, 12 yards to the 12.
Now you're a little more manageable.
Yeah. 9th penalty, 57 yards on St. Aug. 3rd down and 5 now. Certainly changes the dynamic.
Absolutely.
From the 12, 3rd and 5 with 6:16 to play. Twin receivers left, a single to the right. Snap it. Rolling to the short side. Stops. He's hit as he throws. It's almost picked off. McMahon got drilled hard, and he's down. He got exposed, and he got ripped to the ground. Very hard. Great pressure.
He was like fully extended when he got hit, and that rib cage opens up right there.
So Jesuit unable to take advantage. They're now on 4th down and 5. Got to try the field goal. Shurik will come on to try that. This will be from 29 yards,
and you hope
right angle.
And you hope he's okay because he's the holder.
Of course.
So hopefully that doesn't play into this right now.
29 yards, right hash mark. Snap good, spot good. Kick is up, hit it very well, and he has hit it very good. So with 6:05 to play, the Jesuit lead is now 20-14. Well, Shurik's a good kicker, isn't he?
Yeah, he drilled that one. That was, a pressure kick right there. So St. Aug's got some time, though. They got 6 minutes left. They do need a touchdown. They had some success the last couple of series doing some zone read. Right now it looks like your quarterback's the best player in the field that you have. So let's put it in his hands, and whether he's got to run it or throw it, let's let your quarterback try to go and win it. The way things have played out for St. Aug offensively, it looks like their best bet with the 6 minutes remaining in the game.
So Jesuit's drive was a long one. We'll give you the details in a moment. 14 plays, 68 yards, 6:15 off the clock. Able to get 3 points and take a 20-14 lead with 6:05 left to play in the game. Got the long drive they wanted.
Yeah, that's
got points, but not the kind of points they wanted.
Yeah, you would have loved to get the touchdown there because 10 points is a whole different ball game than 6, especially with that 14 plays and 6 minutes off the clock. But the way your defense has been playing, you're feeling pretty decent about yourself right now. Up by 6, make them have to go the length of the field. I would be surprised if they don't try to kick it into the end zone and give them an opportunity to return it. Make them go 80.
Kickoff is hit hard, but a line drive bounces. It'll get to the end zone. So he hit it in the right place, touchback.
Wasn't pretty, but effective. That's exactly what they wanted to have.
And again, St. Aug has had that man up all night long. I'm surprised that they haven't adjusted to get back. Because if they're back there, you got to return.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, with
ball's on the ground.
Yeah. At the same time, you're worried about the squib. I mean, you can't fill every hole on the field. But certainly playing deep is probably, at least having somebody, at least one guy deep around the 5-yard line, and give yourself a chance.
So they'll start from the 20 with 6:05 left to play in the game. Purple Knights, you can do the math. Touchdown, extra point, they win.
Yep.
see what they can do. It'll be Mahmoud Bailey in the backfield. Remember, Doyle got hurt early in the game, has not returned for the Purple Knights. Jesuit a three-man front. Snap it, Woodson rolling right. Throws short, that's caught. Diving catch. Made it about the 26 by Josh White. Nice start to the drive, a gain of 6. Woodson to White. 2nd and 4.
Okay.
Now we'll get another stoppage in play here. This is the water break. Right in the middle of the possession. Could have taken it before that play, right?
I don't understand.
I
don't get it.
So, I mean, you just disrupt the rhythm of the game.
Yes.
If you can avoid it, avoid it.
And
I mean, if you can, I fully understand. I really do. But I don't understand.
Yeah, it's just very, and as a coach, all you ask is be consistent. Be consistent in what you do.
Yeah.
And the rules don't say specifically don't, and when all possible, don't stop a drive.
Yeah. I know
we
that.
just had a kickoff.
Right.
5 seconds before.
LSU's lead is now 38-21 with 2:23 to play. And always nice to point out things. Foster Morrow, former Jesuit star, 4 catches for 33 yards. Very involved tonight. The Rummel freshman, Jamar Chase, 2 catches for 30 yards in that game for LSU. So here is a 2nd and 4 at the 26-yard line for St. Aug. 5:57 left to play in the game. And they're going to run the ball, and that's going to go backwards unless he can avoid a whole bunch of white shirts. He can. I don't understand that. They cannot run against this Jesuit front.
They really have, other than the touchdown run. I mean, and the one time by the quarterback where he pulled it on the zone read.
Yes, that's the only time.
That's really the only.
Well, Woodson's the only effective runner they have, other than the one quest run for a touchdown.
Yeah, that's it.
Loss of 4 for Bailey, and it's 3rd down as a result from the 22-yard line and 8 yards to go. Gain 6 and then lose 4.
A lot of clock running, too.
A whole bunch of receivers changing here.
Yeah, they had the lineman in for the run, and they
right.
ran him off, and just a lot of time coming off the clock. Their play clock's about to expire.
2 seconds, 1 second. They'll never get it off. It just did expire. Where's the flag? There it is. So a delay of game on St. Aug.
They gave him the timeout.
Oh, they gave him timeout.
The side judge right there by Coach
So
Jones
that will leave St. Aug with
timeout.
2 timeouts left with 5:03 to play. And it's the biggest down of the game for the Purple Knights. They need a conversion. They do not want to give the ball back to Jesuit, who showed the ability to run the ball
after
on that last series.
Drive. Yeah. And defensively, they're hurting right now. They've lost some players. The last, here in the second half, they've lost a few players to injury, so they're not at full strength on defense. And you give it back with 5 minutes to go, that might be the end of the football game.
So 3rd and 8 coming up with 5:03 to play. Big situation here. Twins right, single receiver left. Woodson retreating. Blitz on. Woodson is going to be hit. Flag down. He got it off. Caught. 20, 25, and short of the first down with a good effort is DeAndre Cooper, but hold everything. When I say hold everything, you know what that means. Holding St. Aug. Blue Jays had a free blitzer, unblocked.
They've really had success with that short side of the field blitz. St. Aug has yet to pick that up tonight. That's about the 3rd or 4th time they've been able to get to him. How he got that ball off, I'll never know. But it all goes for naught. You're going to have half the distance from about the 11-yard line.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the bottom line was they were at the 22 when the play started. So this is a 16-yard penalty. I mean, again, that spot foul, I really don't like it.
Yep.
Cost him 16 yards and just kills him.
My thing is, if you're going to do that spot foul, then make pass interference.
Yeah, exactly. That's just 15. You can
Same thing.
You can do anything you want. Grab a guy, mug him, do anything to
Yep.
prevent a score.
Yep.
And it's only 15.
Yep.
It's inconsistent. 3rd and 24 from the 6. Motion from the end zone. Woodson, deep middle, nice throw, caught. Short of the first down at about the 22 or 23, but now they got to think about going for it on 4th down. Broderick Martin the catch. So Martin gets 17, and it's 4th down at the 23.
They're punting.
They are going to punt the ball. Well, they're going to punt and play defense with 2 timeouts left, it appears.
Wow.
17 yards on the completion to Martin. Good throw, too. So they will punt. Mims, who's a baseball pitcher and a quarterback as well, by the way. Keep that in mind. We'll punt it. Moran is deep. Jesuit has to play safe if they're smart here. See what Mims does. Takes the snap. He will punt it. Wobbly spiral. Moran fumbles the ball. It's loose. Who's got the ball? Who's got the ball?
Why wouldn't you fair catch that?
I don't know. St. Aug's got the ball. What a big play for the Purple Knights. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know why you don't fair catch that ball. That's a big, huge mistake. All you have to do is catch it, and the game's almost over if you just catch the football right there.
And
Tough
what a
play.
chance for St. Aug here to take advantage and possibly win this game.
Tough play, man.
At the Jesuit 36. You're almost to the point where you might want to run away from the ball in that situation. I'm serious.
No, but just,
I understand.
catch the ball.
1st and 10 of the Jesuit 36. Big chance for the Purple Knights here. With 3:49 left. Snap it. Quest gets the carry. He finds yards. Right side of the 31, a gain of 5. A good start for St. Aug.
Aug's going to go tempo right here.
Yeah, we'll go no huddle. Quest has been their most effective ball carrier. 2nd down and 5 at the 31. 3:30 to play. Game on the line. Snap it. Run it inside. Quest this time is hit hard and driven back. He got a yard. That's all. It's going to be 3rd and 4. 4-down territory. You know that.
Absolutely here. Yeah, you're not going to punt whatsoever at this point, Tom.
3rd down and 4. 2nd turnover for Jesuit. Remember, they messed up the kickoff to open the half. Lose the turnover battle, you usually lose the game. Snap it. Quick throw outside. That's caught. 30. 25 got the first down across the 25 to the 24. On the reception is DeAndre Cooper. Big conversion for the Purple Knights. First down at the Jesuit 24. That's a big conversion. He needed that. It struggled offensively here. On first down. Runs right. Woodson trying to get the corner. He gets around 1, cuts back, made a good move. He's still on his feet. He's got a 1st and goal inside the 10. What a run by Woodson. When it matters most, Woodson takes matters into his own hands. He has a 1st and goal at the 9-yard line, a gain of 15 yards. What a big play.
I would love to see St. Aug run him more than they do because
he's really good.
He is special with the ball in his hands.
1st and goal at the 9. 2:29 to play. Here's Woodson. Give it to Quest, running left. He bangs down to about the 6. Has 3. The thing that St. Aug's doing is they're trying to score and run the clock out at the same time.
That's good. That's smart football right there.
I couldn't agree more.
Jesuit is not a high-powered, explosive offense. And the less time they have, the better chance you have of winning the football game.
2nd and goal at the 6-yard line. Either team taking a timeout here. Each has 2 left as we hit 2 minutes to play. 20-14 Blue Jays. Big opportunity for the Purple Knights. Trip set left, single receiver right. 2nd and goal. Snap it. Pop pass. Woodson touchdown. Perfect throw. Broderick Martin. This game is tied. 6-yard touchdown pass.
That was a great play call right there. Now back to that RPO. He'd hurt you with his legs a little bit, so you're worried about that. Just pull it out and hit that quick slant. Really good play call by the St. Aug coaches. Right
6-yard touchdown to Martin. Second touchdown pass for Woodson. Tied at 20, and now Marks to try to put St. Augustine on top with the extra point. He has hit it right through the goalposts. Timeout. 1:48 left to play. The Purple Knights 21 and the Blue Jays 20. Wow. St. Augustine, so many injuries, so many problems, and they find a way to get back into the lead here with under 2 minutes left. And now, kickoffs have been big plays in this game. We'll watch this one.
Special teams. How many times have we said it tonight?
Our kicking game has decided this game.
Wow.
A lot of negative plays on special teams.
Yeah, and it hadn't been like big returns or anything like that. It's been fumbles and muffs and bad punts and just
6 plays, 36 yards, 2:01 off the clock. And now Jesuit will get it back with 2 timeouts left.
Yeah, it's almost imperative that Jesuit gets some field position right here with this kickoff return. If they can get it somewhere close to midfield, then they'll have a chance. They'll have a chance because remember, a field goal wins it for you. But they've got to get it close to midfield here as best they can.
Here's the kick. It's going to be a good one down to the 9. Upfield 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Good return out near the 39. That's 1:40 to play. They have 2 timeouts left, and they have an excellent kicker.
Yeah. Where they 38-yard line, so you're talking about 20, 38 yards they need, 32 yards, somewhere in that neighborhood. If they can get the ball to about the 30-yard line of St. Aug, they'll have a shot. That'll give them about a 47-yard field goal, and they'll have a shot with the kicker they have.
What a game.
3 first downs.
What a finish. 1st and 10 Jesuit at its 38-yard line with 1:40 left to play.
The key is no negative plays. You can't have negative plays here.
And St. Aug's going to be coming after McMahon. He rolls right. Looking, nobody there. Going to run it. 40, steps out of bounds wisely. Got 3, but stops the clock with 1:41 to play. Good decision.
Yeah, he's 5'11", 170, not real big, but he's shifty, and he's smart with the football. But he avoided the negative play. They got some positive yards, and that's the key.
And stopped the clock without using a timeout.
Absolutely.
2nd and 7 at the 41. Minute 31 left. Receivers split to either side. 2 to each side. McMahon going to throw it outside and incomplete for Besh. As McMahon hit the turf, he was pressured and driven down to the turf by 55 Bishop Thomas.
Yeah, he had him. If he could have had a little more accurate throw, that would have been a big play, and that would have got him real close because he was about the 40-yard line plus side of the field.
Boy, I'll tell you what, the throwback screen to the short side here with the defensive pursuit might not be a bad thought. 3rd and 8.
If you got something, if Coach Bainsfather's got something, It might be a good time to pull it out of the bag right here.
3rd and 7 at the 41 with 1:25 left. Again, a 4-receiver set, same formation. Whittington, the running back. McMahon, lots of time. Steps up, has room to run. Look out. 40, 50, 45, first down.
And you get
he's
15.
hit out of bounds. 15 more, and that might put Jesuit just around field goal range. What a mistake by St. Aug. Obvious late hit, and you just can't do that in that situation. The run went to about the 44 of St. Aug. You give them 15 more, that'll be the 29, and that's right at Shurich's range.
Yeah, as big a mistake as the Jesuit player made on the muff punt, that's as big a mistake for St. Aug right there. You already gave up the big play,
right.
And you just compounded it right there and he was obviously going out of bounds. He was giving himself up, and Now you get 15.
It was a 15-yard run and a 15-yard penalty. Do the math, 30 yards there. That's gigantic.
It's not, you're not a gimme, but you still got 2 timeouts and a minute 17.
Right.
Run your offense. Now run your offense. Just what you had been doing earlier in the game. You don't need to drop back and throw it. You can run your zone stuff, your quarterback keepers that you've been hitting and that you've been pounding on them a little bit in the second half. That's what you got to do right here. Getting your 2 tight set.
11 penalties, 88 yards on St. Aug, and Jesuit goes to a 2-receiver set. More of a power look. On 1st and 10 from the 29, a minute 17 left. Run it inside right, find a hole. He's loose at the 20. Whittington, the 15, out of bounds. First down, Jesuit at the St. Augustine 14, 15 big yards. Now they're in definitive field goal range.
Boy, the momentum shifts in this game have just been amazing, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, just when you think one team's down and out and just something comes back and changes everything.
15 yards and a first down to the 14 for Whittington. Now Jesuit, you would think, would just run the ball. If they break it, great. If not, they've got a really good kicker.
Stay in bounds.
Right.
Yeah.
On 1st and 10, going to run it with Whittington. He finds yards inside the 10 of the 9.
2 hands on the football, young man. 2 hands on the football. And look, if you can score a touchdown, go score a touchdown.
Absolutely.
I mean, don't put it, you don't want to put it in that young man's hands if you don't have to, the kicker.
To the 9, 2nd down and 5.
St. Aug called a timeout.
St. Aug called timeout with 57 seconds. They've still got 1 left, and that's understandable. They want to try to create enough time to get the ball back if they can. Now, they can only stop it once more. That's the problem.
Yeah.
They can't stop it on 3rd down. So Jesuit can still run this thing down and try to win it right here.
Yeah.
Basically.
But, keep pounding them. And you know what? If you pop one and get it in there and score the touchdown, that's great. You know. But if you have to put it in that young man's hands, in the kicker's hands, and let him kick it, so be it. But play to win the game. Play to win the game.
Comes down to this. To the 9-yard line, 2nd and 5, 57 seconds left to play in the game. 21-20, St. Augustine on top. Been that kind of game throughout.
It's been unbelievable.
Whittington remains the running back. Slot man in front of him is a lead blocker to run left, which they do. He's got room. He's at the 5, 3, 2, 1 to the goal line. He's in. Touchdown, Jesuit. With 48 seconds left, the Blue Jays score. And if you're Jesuit, you go for 2 here, don't you?
Yes, absolutely. You go for 2. You're up 5 now, 26-21. You definitely go for 2 to try to make it a 7-point game.
Whittington from 9 yards
and if you
out.
If you have to take a timeout here to get that straight, you take your timeout.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what you do here.
Take your timeout.
Have the play you want
Coach
called.
Coach Sanji did. But,
right.
Just the kids are just so excited. And
right.
Kids are running around and high-fiving and everything. And half the offense probably ran off the field.
Right.
Thinking they're going to kick an extra point. You got to get everybody settled down. Get your personnel right. Your timeout here for Jesuit is insignificant at this point.
You're thinking about the math. I mean, if you kick the extra point, you're up 6, and you say, they can only tie us with a touchdown. But you have to take into consideration Jerron Marks has made all 3 of his extra point attempts for St. Aug.
Absolutely.
So you've got to assume he'll do that again if they score. Therefore, you go for 2.
Oh, absolutely. That's not even a question.
Yeah.
Just got to make sure you get your kids settled because they're just their hearts are racing, their minds are going crazy. I mean, the coaches are too, but they got to be the level-headed ones down there.
Well, it's a tight formation. There's only one receiver. He's left. Everybody else is tight. Power football here. Whittington in the backfield.
Yeah, usually you have a 2-point play that you worked on all week. I mean,
motion
everybody's
right.
got one.
Fake it, looking wide open. It's easy. 2-point conversion is good as the pass to the wide open receiver, Wynn Schibler, is good. And with 48 seconds left, Jesuit takes a 28-21 lead.
They got in that 2 tight set like they had been, run. It was just a little counter pass, little bootleg, and St. Aug was just ganged up on the run, and he had his choice of 3 receivers out there to throw it to.
That's what happens when you establish a running game.
That's it, And like I said, most coaches are going to go into a game with 1, maybe 2 2-point plays that they've worked. And a lot of times you work those plays all year long, and you don't ever use them because you don't need to go for 2. So,
6
but
plays,
you always have one.
6 plays, 62 yards in just 52 seconds.
Well, you
That's
had
how you find a way.
Yeah, and the penalty was huge. The personal foul. On top of the scramble. I mean, the scramble was huge, and then you give them another 15 yards, and that's just unfortunate. Kids playing hard, and it happens, and you got to always remember in this game you're playing these kids. They're kids. They're 16, 17, sometimes 15 years old, and, just sometimes they do things that, why they do that, but they do, and you can't fault the effort.
Now Jesuit has to decide what to do with the kickoff here. Do you pooch it, kick it on the ground, try to kick it in the end zone?
I think you put it in the end zone. Well, no, they got one deep. They got a guy deep. Number 15
they haven't
deep.
had that the whole game.
You got Broderick Martin deep.
Yeah.
Trying to take that away, and then they're trying to take.
And you want to think ahead. If St. Augustine can somehow score, would they consider going for the win rather than for overtime?
The way this game's gone, you couldn't fault Coach Jones for doing it. You really
Here's the kick. He does kick it deep, and it is returnable, but he pins him back to the 1. White pivots, comes back 5. Running left 10, shook 1, cuts back right 15. He got loose at the 20. He got loose at the 25. Great job by White.
And you get 15.
And a late hit drives him out of bounds. And St. Aug is going to get the ball on the Jesuit side of the field with 38 seconds left off of a great return by White and then the late hit.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
This game is just...
Well, what's maddening about this game is, as exciting as it's been, both coaches have got to be going nuts with the mistakes that their teams have made.
Oh, if I was still coaching, this game would make me quit coaching. Without a doubt. I mean, just...
You would have been up here sooner.
Oh, gosh.
They're going to get the ball at midfield with 38 seconds left and 1 timeout left. Unreal.
I'd have to up my blood pressure medicine coaching in this game, big time.
St. Aug has a shot. Down 7 in midfield, 38 seconds left. Woodson takes the snap, retreats. 3-man rush, steps up under pressure, he's sacked!
Gansey.
3-man rush, and unbelievably, Perry Gansey got him anyway. What a player.
St. Aug just used their last timeout.
That's their final timeout. I mean, how good is Gansey?
I was told a lot about him this week. This kid, he's the real deal.
He's the real deal.
He can play. It's a shame he's, 6'2", 245. Because if he was about 260, a little bit bigger, I mean, I can't see how every school in the country wouldn't be looking at him. Right?
Well, he should have an opportunity to play anyway at the next level if he doesn't go wrestle.
No, absolutely next level.
He's real good.
But I'm talking about the SECs of the world would be looking at him if he was just a little bit bigger, But, I mean, he's impressed me. And a lot of these kids on both teams, the Joseph kid for St. Aug, number 98.
Really good football player.
He's done a fabulous job up front. Both quarterbacks have played really, really well. The offensive lines have played. I mean, it just 2 really well-coached, good football teams.
No doubt. At the 45, 2nd and 15, 29 seconds left. St. Aug is out of timeouts. Jesuit in cover 4. 3-man rush, quick throw outside, and he's tackled at the boundary, and they're going to say inbounds, I believe.
They're saying he's out of bounds.
Martin, they stopped the clock with 18 seconds. So 5 yards to Martin. Back to the original line of scrimmage. So now a 3rd down. Retreats, looking, steps up, throwing down the middle, drills it, caught, but it's in the field of play, and the clock's going to run.
It's not a first down.
It's not a first down.
And they can't. They can't spike it because it's fourth down.
So 3 seconds.
They're going to spike
2
it.
seconds.
They just spiked it, and the game's over.
The game's over. The game's over. You can't spike it. It's fourth down.
They had coaches on their
goodness.
sideline saying spike, 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 and that's why
goodness.
I said,
you hate to see that.
Yeah, that's a tough way. That's a tough way to end the game.
Brutal to see it end like that. You spike the ball on 4th and 2. You're out of time. You can't do it. Unreal. How disappointing is that?
Wow.
You're St. Aug. Tough way to lose in that situation, or at least to deny yourself at least a chance to come back and tie.
Yeah, you hate to see that, but again, emotions. It was so emotional this whole game.
Yeah.
And you know, a player looks to the side and sees somebody saying spike, spike, spike. Well, that's what they're going to do. And just you get caught up in the moment, don't realize the situation, and that's just really just tough. Tough way to lose right there.
This game's all about the kicking game. We said it from the start. It's remained that way. I don't know that I've seen as many strange plays in a kicking game in my life in one game, but it's been that type of game on both sides of the field, really. Jesuit will take a knee, and the Jesuit Blue Jays have defeated the St. Augustine Purple Knights by the score of 28-21. And a thriller here tonight, as we expected it would be. It sure did turn out that way. An amazing football game. All kinds of crazy twists and turns. And again, a kicking game on both sides. What's the right word? Left a lot to be desired?
You know, Week 1 district, huh?
Oh, you think this league can produce some of these things?
Week 1
right?
district. And look, both teams are going in next week are huge games. You know, I mean.
Sure. It's just one game.
It's just one game. And both teams are going into next week rivalry week. This isn't even a rivalry game, really. You know, and all of them are
great
Catholic
rivalry,
League.
Sure, yeah.
You know, but I mean, for what the district's deeming as rivalry week next week, this is just game 1 in the district. You know.
Sure.
So.
Well, I'll tell you what. You saw the twists and turns. Third quarter scoreless, but the fourth quarter was anything but crazy. Exciting to watch this thing unfold, how it happened and what happened. I mean, just again, you go back to the very beginning of the game. You had a short punt, a shank punt by St. Aug, gave Jesuit the ball at the 30, and they scored 3 points off of that. Then you had the bad snap over the punter's head for Jesuit. St. Aug recovered, and they would capitalize on that with a touchdown pass to take a 7-3 lead. Then you had a roughing the passer penalty on St. Aug, set up a Jesuit touchdown run. Again, the theme here is mistakes. Mistakes after mistakes that set up scoring plays in this game. A personal foul for St. Aug helped lead to a Jesuit 7-play, 60-yard drive to give Jesuit 17-14 lead before the half. And then, of course, to start the third quarter, Jesuit botches the kickoff. Now, St. Aug did not score, but again, it was a mistake in the kicking game. And then, of course, we saw the crazy unfolding of events. Jesuit had that big 14-play, 68-yard drive, and a pass interference call certainly helped in that particular possession for Jesuit. They ended up getting a field goal. Jesuit looked like they had the game in control. All they had to do was catch a punt, but they did not. Fumbled it. St. Aug recovered, went down and scored on a touchdown pass, Woodson to Martin, and then Jesuit got the ball back one more time, and they went 6 plays, 62 yards, and won the football game as a result, 28-21. Woo! Take a breath now, right?
It just a crazy football game. Crazy football game. You know, what can both teams take out of it? I think both teams can take out if they have two. They both have pretty good football teams. You know, I know Jesuits didn't really know where they were. St. Aug didn't really know where they were. You know, they played well against De La Salle, but not real well last week. So, but I think both teams laid on the line, and both teams can hold their heads up and say, you know, we got good football teams, and we're going to be okay as we go further into the district season.
Yeah, both teams certainly have an opportunity to do some damage. Both 3-1 now. Jesuit, of course, 1-0 in the Catholic League with a victory here tonight. But St. Augustine, tough loss, drops to 3-1 overall. And, of course, the great Catholic League tradition where both teams honor each other's alma mater. Something that's special in this league, which has such tremendous traditions. And this is one of them that everybody abides by, and you really appreciate seeing that on both sides. I mean, you have some great rivalries in this league. And next week, the Great American Rivalry Series right here at CrescentCitySports.com and on Cox Sports Television, Holy Cross Jesuit on Friday night.
Is it 99th meeting?
99th. And of course, you'll have a chance to hear from both coaches at the Greater New Orleans Sports Foundation Quarterback Club this coming Tuesday at noon at Rockin' Bowl. Kyle LeCompte and Mark Sanji there with the trophy, no less. Holy Cross has it right now. Who will take it away next Friday night? That should be a great football game. Speaking of rivalries, I mean, it's rivalry weekend, right? You got Saturday, the megaphone game, Archbishop Rummel, Archbishop Shaw. You've been part of that. And that's another one of those awesome traditions where there's no better sight at the end of a game where those two teams gather together, kneel down, and the opposing coach talks to the opposing team, and they pray together, and somebody walks away with that megaphone. And then, of course, Brother Martin St. Aug, the great Gentilly rivalry. It's rivalry weekend next weekend in the Catholic League. Those are three great rivalries: Holy Cross Jesuit, Rummel Shaw, and St. Augustine Brother Martin.
Yeah. Unfortunately, my 6 years at Rommel, I only saw our guys get that megaphone one time.
That's because you're dealing with Hank Tierney, man.
Yeah, in 2000, we were lucky to come away with it.
And I remember specifically when you guys got the megaphone. I'll never forget Coach Roth's immediately. He uttered one word. I don't know if you remember what he said.
No, I don't.
Freedom. Couldn't miss it. Freedom.
It
had been a long time.
It was a good night in the field house that night.
Sure
too.
it was. Oh,
we had a blast.
That was a special win, and this was a special win for Jesuit here tonight. Look, Jesuit, and this is, again, we'll close out in a minute or so, but Jesuit has had 2 consecutive losing seasons. Yeah. And, I mean, it's been rough on them. They had a really bad year last year.
Yeah, they did.
2-9. And, I mean, it was tough to suffer through. And they just haven't been the same team since that magical 2014 run. And for Mark Sanji to put it back together on his own terms with his own staff and his own players, because he walked into a situation, by the way, that was a very tough situation to walk into and did a great job. It's got to be rewarding for him, because I guarantee you one thing, based on what I saw tonight, they're not going to have a losing season this year.
No, they're a good football team, and he knew that. You know, him and I talked last year, and he said we're going to have some young kids on the field, and we're going to take our lumps, and it's going to take 2 or 3 years to get this thing. I think it's going a little bit faster than he thought, because he's got some young guys out there that are contributing and playing well, and that's really got to make him feel good about where he is as a team right now.
No doubt. So once again, our final tonight was 28-21. Jesuit defeated St. Aug. Lon, it's been a lot of fun.
I'll look forward to doing it again sometime soon. Hopefully we'll have another opportunity.
Well, we can tell you right now that this coming Thursday night, got a very intriguing matchup in District 8 5A. If you can join me for that one at Haas Memphis with John Aaron and Chalmette, 2 of the better teams in that league. Aaron's already got a big win over Destrehan this year. And Chalmette was a good team last year. They're good again this year. And that should be a big game at Haas Memphis Thursday night at 6:30 on WGSO, 9:90 a.m. and at WGSO.com. We hope you can join us for that one, and we hope you will listen into that one too. And, of course, we want to thank Matt Merritt, Chip Merritt, for a job well done. They were terrific here tonight. Really appreciated what they were able to do, and obviously we appreciate them for all their help. And I want to thank Jordan Liuza, too, for being here tonight and trying to contribute to what we've done, and appreciate what he does for CrescentCitySports.com and the like. Really does an excellent job, so we're appreciative of him as well. But, again, a really good football game here tonight, 28-21 final. So we'll put a wrap to it here, Lon. Thanks again, and thanks to everybody for watching tonight here at CrescentCitySports.com. This is Ken Trahan saying thanks for joining us. Be a good sport, and God bless you one and all. We are rounding third and heading home. So long.